pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. This is a part of the meeting that if you got something that's not on the agenda and you want to be heard, that you have the opportunity to speak. So is there anybody that's not on the agenda that doesn't have their hand up, that wants to say something, they can? Go ahead.
I just got a couple questions. I've been thinking about the last meeting, some of the questions that came up about the funds. I'm sure you guys will make a great decision where all the money goes. But I was thinking about, it's dangerous, the tourism, and one question that was asked last week is there any way that Nick could recoup some of the money? And he doesn't know I'm saying this, put that on record, he doesn't know I'm saying this. But we're gonna be out a lot of money for extra safety protection, and it's related to more people in town, and so mostly the people that is gonna benefit from that would be the tourism. I just wondered if that was something you could think about, and it may be an absolute no, but I just wanted to think about that. And then the other question when I was thinking about this, they asked for specific money for the fairgrounds, and that would increase tourism. Could there be possibility of money coming from tourism for improvement for the fairgrounds? Because that's going to improve flow into the city as well. I just thought that might be something.
The answer your question on the first side of reimbursing, I guess, wages for, extra people on Monday the 8th. I don't know if that was something legally we can do. We can look into that. I mean, they may be able to, the visitors board might be able to give Nick a grant for a certain amount of money, and maybe once he determines what that money is, he could reach out to the visitors board and said, hey, for on this day, we spent, $5,000 more or whatever in funding for all the visitors that were in town. It might be something that could happen there on that end. Second part of it with the 4-H or with the fairgrounds is that the fairgrounds are presenting tomorrow for the Ready To grant, and we're going to see where they get some money from that grant particularly. And if they don't, then we have an avenue of coming back here and looking at monies that we have here. So the answer to that question is we're going to have to see where they fall out with some of the other funding, because if I'm not mistaken, in their Ready grant, they're asking for the whole boat. I mean, they're asking for a lot of things.
And visitors do give the fairgrounds.
Yes,
give them money.
and they do give, the visitors board does give the fairgrounds, money every year. So, and I don't see any reason why they would not continue to do that. So, and speaking with the visitors board in the meeting we had, I think there's some capital projects that they're kind of encouraging the fair board to do, so they could get more involved with the visitors board of giving them some money for a capital project. So I don't know if that answers your question or
Well,
not.
I just wanted to put it out there. We need to be very creative.
The money that's in the Visitors and Tourism Promotion Fund that's managed by the Visitors Board can only be expended for activities that promote and encourage tourism. I'm not sure that additional costs associated with tourism coming to the town can then be reimbursed on the back end. I think it's mainly to advertise, promote. You can use, I think they do for the Fairgrounds Board, you can't do things like assist with a specific event, but I'm not sure that expending that money to fund EMS services would be.
I thought it was a stretch, but I was just stretching.
good comment. Anybody else? Oh, my.
Yay.
I'm so sorry. In regards to the, Scott County Plan Commission and the previous hearing that they held, in regards to a possible new subdivision, I wondered, if you have set a date yet to
17th,
17th
our next meeting,
at 5 PM?
yes. Talking about the zoning change?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep, actually, yeah. That's it.
Has everything from that meeting, like the minutes and things, has that all been compiled?
Those minutes were being prepared.
Okay.
I can advise Michelle that she needs to get in touch with them.
And did they have a written
Yes, yes.
finding that
Yeah.
they made? Okay. I'm just asking.
Okay. Wow, what'd you do?
Oh, let's start like
Wow, that
slow learner, but.
That's good, right?
You screwed up once, and you won't do it twice.
Like that, yeah.
That's a request for leave from an
Okay.
employee.
Well, before you start, I wanna congratulate your son and, Bobby Coomer's son for Brownstown's high school boys winning the state, 2A championship.
Thank you.
I was there to watch it, it was a heck of a game.
Fun month. Yeah.
So, we'll act on that later. So I can't believe, after seeing his foot, that he even played the game, but,
Yep.
I guess they gave him time to heal up a little.
It was a tough month. Now he's got a few weeks to heal up before AAU season starts and all that good stuff. So I think he's got a week.
Got a week.
Yeah. So take
No
full advantage of
downtime,
it.
is there?
No downtime, no.
Well, congratulations to him.
I
Yeah.
appreciate it, I'll tell him. I just wanna hand you guys this, just as more of an informational thing. It's kinda what I'm looking at on paving, this year. And you can kinda see at the bottom, I put the available funds for 24. Kind of the things,
This is outside the community crossing.
yeah, you can kinda see in there where it says match money. So our match money for like the chip seal end of things would have to come out of this fund. And then the rest of, and this ain't, all of it that says patchwork, these are the proposed chipped roads. This is just done repair work before that happens. And then any of it where it says estimated is not 100% set in stone, but it's just roads we're looking at doing. So anyway, if you look at it and you got concerns or changes, just let me know, because we're still we're getting there here within the next couple of weeks, doing what we need to do. It just kinda lets you know the money and what it's gonna be, and it'll take long to run out.
No.
Okay, so we have the ADA stuff that I'm gonna bring back around. I had 2 consultants to help us out on that. We had this Fleck Engineering, I think it was a Fleet or the Fleck?
What?
Fleck, sounds good.
It wasn't, it should have been.
Yeah. I mean, they're both,
And this is to,
sorry, you need that sheet, that tells the price, that's what I was looking for. So we need to be ADA and Title VI compliant for any kind of awards, really, CCMG or federal awards, we need to be compliant, so we got some work to do to get it where it needs to be. This is just doing the paperwork and getting us where we need to be.
so, working with either one of these companies is, they would tell us what we need to do to get there.
Yes, they would actually
And they would
do all the
assist us.
paperwork that we need to get compliant, do the report, yeah. Of course,
And
you know,
some of it is actually just that, is updating the report, correct?
it's basically, yes, updating the report. So I'm not sure where they want to pull the funding from as far as the county goes, and talk to, council about it, but I mean, this isn't just the highway department, it has, they're going through and inspecting all our buildings, sidewalks, and everything for ADA compliant, Title VI. So that'll be the health department, I guess sheriff's department, courthouse, highway department.
Yeah, it's going.
It's pretty good. I've seen one of the old reports that I think Jennifer had sent me, and it's pretty involved.
So we're talking, was that this 15,000 or the,
I think one was 27,100, it says on the bottom, and the other one was 31,000. Fleck was 27,000, USI was 31,000.
well, I think that's, something that we're gonna have to do. I mean, just
Yeah.
to stay in grant, I guess able to receive grants and
Stay in
some other.
compliance with it, yeah.
Yes. So. So which was the better bid?
The Fleck was the cheapest,
I
the
wanna see the
USI
Fleck.
was 31,000, I think the Fleck was 27,000.
Yeah, I do see that one, I see
Um,
USI's. So what your guys' thoughts are? Greg,
Who's Select?
that's what this thing, I think. Oh, that's USI's, that's what I had to. Okay, that's what I was looking for right there. This one's
Where's the money coming from?
31,000.
Be up to the council.
Yeah, I was gonna talk to the council about it, because, I mean, it affects the highway department, but it kinda affects everybody, I think. Everybody should be ADA compliant in the whole county,
Right.
so I don't know
Countywide thing, yes.
if
I would think
that's
it would
kinda where they
come out of county general fund.
come out of the county general.
I think you're right.
Who's this one?
That's USI,
USI.
yeah,
Okay. So we have USI
like
That's
that's
for
one,
31.
and Fleck.
yeah.
Flag was 27.
Yeah. I mean, I know both of them. I mean, the low bid in this case is fine. I mean, it's one of those things that we just can't get around. I don't wanna spend money on it either, but it's a have to, so,
Well, it's a necessity, sounds like.
yeah.
What's your thoughts?
We normally use USI for everything.
Well, we use different consultants. Right now, USI has our bridge inspections, with the county. Previous, was, I think for 20 years, United did the bridge inspections in Scott County, so there's been several consultants we use. I'll be honest with you, I'd have to go with Greg's recommendation on the Fleck. I don't know, I haven't dealt with them. USI I have dealt with on several different things, which I'm happy with, so it's,
Well, I think it is.
$4,000 is a lot.
I think in this situation with the low bid, it's probably what we'd have to do if it's likewise.
Yeah.
So, I'd entertain a motion to accept the Fleck Engineering consultant fee for $27,000 to do, the engineering report for ADA compliant for the county, not just the health, or not just the highway department, but for the entire county, so. For the, for us to send it to the council, for them to find the funds in whether it's general fund or not, just take it out of Kevin's fund, for the entire county, so.
I'll make that motion.
Randy makes a motion to accept Fleck Engineering for $27,000, Greg.
I'll second.
Greg seconds that, and I'll make that unanimous, so do I need to sign those?
Yeah, I think that has a signature in the back. May have a signature for everybody.
It does.
Looks like.
I'm just curious, have you touched base with maybe any of these guys lately on this?
On the ADA stuff? No,
Okay.
not since we started finding somebody to.
What else you got?
Really, the other thing I have is I got the chip seal bids, I emailed them to you, I don't know if, where you want, I mean, I know we're kinda working on some different things, where you stand on it, if you wanna read them out, or if you wanna,
Actually, we'll
Table
just,
them or
we'll
however you
just
wanna do it.
discuss what we're talking about, so.
okay.
So everybody's aware, Kevin's last year brought us a quote for, sealed, or chip seal equipment, in the ballpark of $700,000 for all the equipment that we would need to, do that. We have since been in contact with last fall, I almost say last winter, we were at a meeting in Indianapolis and met with some people from Jefferson County, Indiana, that, was interested in partnering together, on the same equipment. So, we've had some meetings with them, and they're in agreement. They're going to their council to, talk to them about it. We're going to go to our council and talk about it, but, the agreement is that we're probably gonna split the cost of the equipment and have an MOU with our attorney from Jefferson County and our attorney here to utilize said equipment for each county, so we're not buying $700,000 worth of equipment, they're buying $700,000 worth of equipment, and they're using it 2 or 3 months out of the year, so we think it's probably a better deal for us. It's definitely gonna save us some money, but we're in that process right now, so Kevin, I'm going to say that we probably need you to go to the council and get their somewhat of a blessing.
I would go ahead though and open the bids or read them.
Yes.
I opened them, we had them set at the highway department, 10 o'clock this morning, but I can read them all.
Yeah. I mean, we want to anyway. Actually, you're probably gonna say there's one player, cause there's only typically one player that sells
Yeah.
that type of equipment.
They was the only ones that came with any of it, even the roller, last time we got 3 bids on the roller, but, 2 of them called and said they couldn't get the government contract pricing on it, so they couldn't do me any good, so they were like, if you need a bid, we'll send you one, if you don't.
So you had one bidder.
One bidder,
Who does use the government contract
Yeah.
pricing.
yeah. Yeah.
And it's the same one that bid last time, wasn't
It
it?
is, yeah. The roller, a lot of people sell that, the other equipment's kinda niche, there isn't a whole lot of, vendors of Southeastern equipment, it's a very large outfit, I think there's like 23 different places throughout the area. Anyway, their Bomag roller was $103,754. Their chip spreader was $404,250, which that did stay the same as last time. I think the roller went up about 5%. And then the distributor was $267,405, and that just went up like $2,500. So prices didn't go up too bad considering. $404,250.
So we're right still at the 770,000, somewhere range. If I'm mistaken, Jefferson County said they just recently bought a roller, so that might be something that,
I would think it's really new, within a couple of years, I think. So I'm figuring that's something they would probably like to bring to the table if I was,
yeah.
good chance in anyway. Then yeah, we just have to sit down and figure out, if I could take this to the council and kind of get their head around it, I guess, so to speak, and kind of go from there.
So, Mr. Attorney, since we've already voted on this once, although there is a second price, but also there is going to be a negotiation with another county to,
I think we could probably redo the whole approval processes because we approved a resolution for a purchase of equipment for the county itself, I think we would have to do something that would reference the interlocal cooperation agreement, approve those two things independently.
For him to go to the council and get their blessing though, how would,
I think you can go to the council meeting and ask and inform them that, this is kind of the idea. And we just,
get their buy-in?
yeah,
So we really wouldn't have to vote on it here yet, because,
I don't think so. I think
but you're talking about a resolution
I
that,
would table the, bids, and we need to hear back from Jefferson County. I think that they have a meeting, the commissioners meet today, I believe. And then,
yeah, that's it, this morning.
this morning, and then, you know, assuming that they maintain the same interest, I think we would probably approve something down the road.
Well, I did see an email from Bobby that said that, you know, he's been kinda busy right now and was.
Yeah, I kinda sent one out to just get together and get, you know, some ideas to present, I guess, in a little better fashion. Cause you know, I don't know if they're trying to keep the monetary value the same, or is somebody just buying one piece and somebody buying the other, and you just
Yeah.
make an agreement on it? Or how you wanna go about it, I guess is the things to think
That's
about
all
and
the
figure
things that
out.
would get
Yeah.
included inside of the interlocal is,
That's where the attorneys would have to,
So when I go to council, I tell them that we're looking for half the money that it
yeah,
would take to do this,
we
so
would
that would
also
be
have
fair.
to establish kind of like an oversight board that would be made up of members from Jefferson County and, Scott County to oversee the use of the equipment and agree on like the terms. If the agreement were to ever terminate, what would occur with the property, those types of things.
Okay,
yeah.
we'll work on that. That's all.
I'm looking forward to that, and I think it's a good way for us to get new equipment. They're excited about it because they need new equipment. And, the cost of this stuff is extremely expensive. And, I think it's a win for everybody. And then it allows us to continue to do what we need to do, is get into preservation and start saving taxpayers money on the work that we're doing. So, I know Kevin knows that. With Kevin and Bobby and those guys in Jefferson County, the experience that we have in place, I think we can make that work. I think it's gonna be a great, cost sharing, and, you know, regionally, it just makes sense, to schedule that equipment out, or they've got it for a couple months, we've got it for a couple months, or however you guys do that, but, I'm looking forward to being able to do that and get us involved in preservation the way we need to be doing it, so.
Yeah, with that being said, I mean, I think they run, you know, kind of a chip seal season, so to speak, where they pick out the miles that they're gonna do, and then they try to do them kind of all at once. So, I mean, I feel like it's something we could definitely work out scheduling wise, and it wouldn't be no different than the state, you know, they take it district by district, the equipment will come to one district, and they'll do it, and then they'll move it to the next district. So, I mean, it's a cost savings, no doubt about it.
That's
Well, it
why
sounds like-
Kevin, I knows it's gonna work, 'cause
Yeah,
we've seen
it's
it.
gonna work.
Well, it's like Bobby was saying from Jefferson County, was saying that, they chip seal for 2 months, and they do 40 miles of road in 2 months, so they're not sitting on their hands while they're doing it, so.
Yeah, and I would assume with the kind of equipment they're looking at now, that I could
Speed
reduce
that.
extremely, yeah.
So,
Sure.
Yeah, they'll be more efficient. Sure.
Well, I mean, you know, looking toward the future, I mean, the only reason we're able to pay, period, is because we have government grants, you know, community crossing grants that are providing that for us. And, other than that, I mean, we're down to 4 miles a year.
Less.
Yeah,
I mean, by the time you go in and do the patchwork and then work that needs to be done, it's
Right.
less than.
it's less than 4 miles a year.
Yeah,
But, you know, and a lot of people are upset about the name chip seal. Well, I mean, I guess everybody's gonna have to understand that we don't have the money, and it's either chip seal or no road at all.
right.
So,
Well, I thought I would try to present, you know, we're gonna do Plymouth Road here in a couple weeks as the plan, and we'll kind of put out there how much money that truly costs.
Yeah.
Just to do that little bitty section of road, and it'll be well over $100,000.
But I
So
mean,
it kind of breaks down, it's not gonna happen. I mean, not without, you know,
undoubtedly, we'd love to be able to concrete every road and give everybody the Autobahn in front of their house, you know, but, you know, we just,
yeah, next meeting we did get 100 small structures into our Ivy program that we got started through, that we done off USI. So, you know, we did have like 11 structural critical, nothing shut down yet, but we had 11 that needs to get attention within the next couple of years. So, you know, I'll kind of present those things, that's things we gotta find money for too. And that's just maybe half of the structure's done, so I'm sure by the time we do the other half, we'll find another 11 would be my guess. So, and that's from 4 foot up, it's from $200,000 structures to $3,000 structures, so. But it's just money that has to be found to repair somewhere.
Okay. Also, I wanna congratulate you, County Highway Garage, Kevin Brown, Civicon, some other people that's involved for Bridge 105. I think we came in under our budget of $1.5 million. There was a dedication, was it last Thursday? 2 Thursdays ago. 2 Thursdays ago, dedication, to the local veterans. There was a dedication out there, had some veterans out there as well, so hats off to you guys for doing some work, some site work and some hauling off and hauling tubing, and it's pretty impressive that we have a gentleman here in the county that's pretty good at building bridges, so.
Yeah, it turned out real well.
And, anyway, I'm sure he, if I'm not mistaken, he was quite a few dollars underneath the next bid on that bridge, so.
Around 300,000.
So, but again, I haven't heard any complaints yet. I saw where there's some black marks across the front of it, so. It sounds like somebody did some tire burning out there.
have you heard anything about the other sign, on how much it's gonna cost?
I have a meeting at 8 o'clock in the morning with Andrew, we're gonna go over some other things that we're looking at, and I'll ask about that.
Okay.
So, we'll get it up there, but honestly, no, but it's in the works.
Okay.
All right, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks,
Appreciate it. Chairman. Good luck to that Purdue team.
All right, I just got something real quick. Need approval from you guys for Mike to electronically sign an agreement for the purchase of the new phone system at dispatch. I did save a considerable amount of money from what the council gave me. So, however, I did not put the 4th terminal phone in there. That was $25,000 in savings from $35,000 that I saved.
So is this a different company?
It's the same company. I have to go through that company, the InDigital. I'm required by the Indiana 911 board. They kind of locked InDigital and AT&T in as the 911 providers and gave them their own territory that they cover. So I did get a quote for a different phone system, one that I thought was much better. However, it was not feasible for the county funds. Nowhere near feasible. I saw the number and I said, no, we gotta go back. So I did look at some different stuff to try to improve our center, but they promised me that with this system and the new version of it, that it will do the same functionality as the system that I wanted would, so.
So is this a renewal of a contract?
It is an agreement for purchase of, they're actually replacing all of my hardware in my building. So, it's purchasing all new hardware and, purchasing a new software. It's updated software, but it's still the new version of the software. And, then install and a, 1-year warranty term. So, Mike, you actually probably already have the email asking for your signature from InDigital. Haven't seen it, I'll check on that then. But it's just something that Mike has to e-sign. So he'll just get the email and pull up the PDF, sign it, hit send.
So is this something you have in your budget?
Yes, it is budgeted. I have actually $89,500 budgeted for this.
And Andrew, I know you're sitting back there, is this work with everything we have?
Yeah, it's a whole different ballgame from, it's its own system, its own network, it's by itself. It really does not even touch anything that we own, so.
Okay. Questions?
Me?
All right, I'll entertain a motion to allow me to sign for this, in digital system for $55,531.05.
I'll make that motion.
Randy makes a motion, Greg,
I'll second.
Greg seconds, and I'll make that unanimous, so.
And then,
I'll look my email, and if I don't have it, then
gotcha.
come send it to me again.
One other thing, I just wanted to let you all be aware that, upcoming on April 14th is Telecommunicators Week. It's nationally recognized. The governor's even signed a proclamation, calling it Telecommunicators Week in the state. Just a way for us to give back thanks for everything that, the 911 dispatchers do. So
That's on what date?
it starts April 14th through the 20th. So.
All right,
It's just a little special thing that a lot of offices, they'll do contests and have dress up days to kind of have a little fun, bring a little fun into it, and everything's PG rated. I think they're either doing Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit or Batman, or, just things along those lines. So just, little children's stories for movies and things like that. But, so if you just want to stop by on those days and say hey and thanks, and I'm sure that would be greatly appreciated from them. I'm gonna try to do some grill out for all the shifts on one day, just to provide a meal for them, and that way they don't have to worry about bringing food, stuff like that. So
Send us an email on whatever day you plan to do that.
we'll do.
all right,
Will do. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Andrew?
How is everyone?
Everyone's great.
Great. Alright.
Need a drum roll or anything?
Nah, not for this, it's not that exciting. Alright. We'll start with debit and credit card purchases at the transfer station. You wanna pass those down? There is a company that I found. I did talk with Missy first about this too, because of course she's the one that's taken in the funds, deals with reporting, balancing and all that good stuff. So I did look for a company that can do same day deposits. So someone goes up there, dumps a trailer load, swipes their card. At the end of the day, before who comes from the transfer station with the reports and stuff, the funding is in the bank account. So they can balance daily. The company is Clover, sorry. They're one of the biggest processors. Actually, they do a lot of processing for Amazon, Walmart, all the big corporations. So, what I looked at, I'm gonna still, let's say, yeah. Can I kick you out for a minute? Yeah, you'll have to disconnect. Over to the right a little bit to disconnect. There we go. All right. Let's see, I think that was just a website. I'll pull up the product that I really liked.
Well, that's
I hate Bing with a passion. I swear it is the dumbest thing ever. Stuff.
Was that 4-leaf clover?
With Bing, Lord only knows what it is. There it is, the flex. Let's bring this bad boy up. We can get a bigger description of it. Well, I wanted a little bit more information about it, but, so this little guy right here, this Flex, can be in the field by the dumpsters, by anywhere at the transfer station, be able to take card payments, swipe, insert, and also tap. And also works with Google Pay and Apple Wallet if someone wants to get fancy and come up there with their watch or whatever and make a payment, they can. And the back of it is also a receipt printer. So right there, they can take payments, print receipts off, and it can be categorized also by if it's a trailer load, a truck load, a car load, whatever is being dumped, it can be in a category. So that's really good for reporting also, to kind of know what the cost is for what service is being provided, so. The prices, what I handed you guys, there is a couple different options. So there is the Flex purchase of 600 straight up, that does include 1-year warranty, or there is a 48-month subscription lease bundle at $30 a month. The $30 a month includes a 48 replacement warranty plus. I know who's ever gonna be carrying that little guy,
It's gonna
It's
drop.
gonna drop.
it's gonna drop sooner or later and hit the gravel, and it's not gonna be good. The 48-month replacement warranty does loss, damage, and theft. So I hate subscriptions, but I don't know how many times we want to spit out $600 for a little device when it hits the gravel. So,
So the replacement warranty will replace it for that?
yep. If it hits the gravel, cracks the screen, stops working, the overnight replacement is included with the subscription. So,
I think that's probably better.
processing rate, I mean, of course, every processor has a fee, 2.6%, which is a little bit lower than a lot of them out there, plus 10 cents per transaction. There is, so the $30 a month is just the lease and subscription. There is also the plan for it a month. There's a $14.95, which includes inventory items, categories, and price, then receipts and all that good stuff. The managed security fee is an extra 10. I really don't think that it's worth adding on another $10 a month for those services. Then of course your application fee, there is a one-time fee of $150. That includes inventory services, build, and on-site setup and training. The salesperson I talked to lives in Louisville, and he says if we do go with this, he will personally come down and do setup and training all day long with whoever's gonna be there. So, then of course you got your shipping cost, $8 to $15.
You have any idea on how long it would take to get it replaced if they dropped it and
Overnight.
broke it?
Overnight. There is, also I forgot to put on here, there is a same day batching fee of 25 cents per day. So I think the transfer station's open how many days a week? So 75 cents a week. That's as minimal, so. But I really think this is the best bang for our buck, buck.
So your suggestion is the $30 a month, not buying it straight out? And the and the $14.95 for the software plan?
Yep. I hate subscriptions, cause
Well, but if we're buying it and there's no warranty on dropping it, this isn't sitting on a desk someplace.
he's coming out there and saying, hey, how would you like to pay? And
I guess my other question is that I'm sure it's Bluetooth,
it's wireless, Wi-Fi,
so
and the internet out there is up and running, so.
will he be able to stand at one of the compactors and be able to use it with that?
Once I get done with the outside access points, he can probably go down the road a little bit and make payments.
Okay.
So, yeah, he'll be able to be throughout the whole area there and take a payment.
Guess I'm gonna ask a question to either one of you guys. I mean, have you heard anybody that's wanting this type of service out there?
Well,
I mean, I believe,
I don't
We
carry
have a
cash,
business.
so it's,
right, I mean, so I think it's a service we need to have. And even if buying it straight out, we still get a year warranty though, right? And does that cover
Yep.
replacement for?
Or no, I'm sorry. Straight out does not cover damage. If the device just was faulty or stopped working, warranty covers that, but damage, lost or stolen does not.
Man,
Yeah,
I've had a lot of people call me and say they wish they could debit card, 'cause, I mean, you know, I don't carry much cash on me either.
I don't
So
either.
if I'm gonna have to pay cash, I gotta go to town and get cash, or,
well, I usually
Write
take a
check or-
checkbook when I go out there, so.
what's a checkbook?
What's a
Yeah.
checkbook?
I'm just kidding.
No, seriously, I don't.
I'm surprised you're right.
well, my wife
Hey, I'm
usually
not
keeps a
that best,
checkbook,
though.
so.
My typing's even horrible, so. But you're kind of looking around $50 a month if you do the subscription, to kind of having that safety that if I do drop this or if it does get ran over, Lord knows what else can happen out there.
So we're talking $360 a year just for the subscription, or is, so,
And it gives you more of a real-time view of what it's doing out there too.
Yeah, there is a very good dashboard with it, and also the treasurer's office can be able to access at any time they want to also. I'm not sure who's working out there at the transfer station, I can't remember his name.
Dwayne.
Dwayne can be able to pull up that dashboard too, print off everything and bring it into the office with him too, so. You can always go back, check stuff, categorize stuff,
So if we're locked into technically a 4-year
Yeah,
deal,
it is a 48-month subscription lease. And of course, it would have to be funded also somehow.
well, I'm looking at,
And we don't have to have a definite yes or no or
I
nay.
know, but I'm looking at, I
So-
guess what Greg's thinking is $600, we own it.
Yep,
I guess my last question, what's that flex cost if we damage it?
$600.
So it's 600 again.
Yep,
so I'm gonna suggest, you can always take the card and go back in and what I'm saying is, anybody doesn't need to be that mobile with it. I mean,
Gotcha.
you can always go in and make a payment.
Well, what he can do is we can build, he's got a box out there at the dumpster, I guess, out there. I mean, he can leave it in there and not have to be carrying it back and forth and, you know,
I don't know about,
you
that
gotta,
thing ain't
I'm not-
really moisture proof. I don't know how.
but I'm,
I mean, even if the mobile one, he could pack it and leave it in there and bring it back in, but
I mean, I guess,
I mean, you do have a fixed point of sale, which I can get a different pricing for. I just think,
I'm not,
in a perfect world, you would want a inside point of sale and something mobile to be able to, if you're just slammed, you can take a payment outside, and if you're not, you can take a payment inside.
well, I don't see too
But-
many people, I mean, I guess what I'm saying is about leaving it out there is that, okay, you take it out there and beginning of your day and you leave it there and, you know, who's gonna, I mean, I guess you can think about, okay, somebody's gonna take it.
Somebody can see that sitting there and be like, well, that's a pretty neat looking little device.
Well, I mean,
I wonder what I can get on eBay,
I can see where after you've taken your swipe of your card, that somebody might have to sign in or push in numbers. So it might not be our employee dropping, it might be, you know,
Correct, there's gonna be interaction with the public too, and told them that and everything else also, so I mean.
let's think about it before we
I will
do
tell you,
something.
Sasko actually has funds.
Hmm?
I can tell you that there is actually cash in that fund, which is historically not, but it's actually making money. So,
Well, that's a big touchdown.
it's a huge touchdown.
Yeah, so I mean, you don't have to, it's just up to you guys.
So
Let me
the
talk to
the
the
mini,
Too, a little bit about it.
Let's-
the mini went up there.
Cause I'm thinking that
Let's go,
No, the,
the mini.
right there.
That's more of a on-site fix. You would want to be able just to be at your desk to type in everything and just kind of spin that around real fast for them to stick their card in and touch it, say accept or
So
PIN
you-
number.
So you can't program that by itself, but you can on the Flex. You have to have a computer for the mini, but you don't
No.
for the Flex.
No, you don't have to have any computer equipment with any of these. They're a self-sustained device.
Okay,
but where I'm
so
getting.
for $10, I'm sorry, for $10 more a month, we can have the one that's just stationary, we don't have to worry about it being dropped.
Correct.
That's kind of where I'm at.
I think so too.
I would say more than likely, coming from a mobile device at 600 to something with a bigger screen, and everything's probably going to be a little bit more expensive out front, but you would have something that's, you know, not gonna get thrown on the floor or dropped or stolen.
I think
I would
that's,
rather have the fixed one,
I think so too.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I can easily get with him and see what we can do for the mini. Yeah, I can do that.
Alright,
Thank you.
Sweet.
what else you got?
The next thing is your thoughts on a new website. Just pass it around.
What do you mean? What do you mean by website?
A new website for the government, for the county. Currently, we have eGov, which has actually moved to Core, has bought them out. Nothing's really changed from the buyout. It's always not been good. So, just to be honest. When we got the website, it's been, of course, years ago. Not pointing fingers here at anybody. When we first got the website, every department was supposed to be responsible for the section of the website. There was a big, huge all-day training session. Then, after that, some of the areas of the website just went stale, never updated, no new content. Of course, employees do come and they do go. There's been a new elected officials come and go, and there was never really cross-training, and it just fell straight on its face. I don't really have the time to go to every single department and try to train everybody to run this website. And plus, just the website alone, its back end is god awful. It is horrible to even throw content on it. Even putting meeting minutes on it, agendas, or the content we do on YouTube, it's horrible. It takes, Jennifer and Deandra know, they've seen, Shasta try to get in there, and it is 20 steps just to put an agenda on there. It's ridiculous. And with Civic, I talked to them, got a quote, and we did a couple demos with them. They've actually had, I think, 6 counties leave Core already to go with them. 2 is an implementation. And that's the only ones that he knows since he's been there for 2 years. So there was more than that. The website compared to Core is, I can't explain it. It's so much better. There's actually, to be able to get into the back end, create new pages, it's there. You can make boxes, you can do pictures, videos, you can integrate with social media. They actually have archiving for our social media stuff, because I know the state requires, was it 2 years of social archiving and all that good stuff? It can host it, it can do all that. It's got a call out system. It's kind of like Nixle or anything else. People can subscribe to it. We can push alerts, texts, email, all sorts of stuff. The possibilities are so much greater than what we currently have right now. And of course, this is just I'm going to go after ARPA funding with this. I know that we have to do a resolution and advertising and all that stuff, so I'll probably bring this back to you guys again. I did email you also the proposal. It is a huge PDF file with a bunch of slides and a bunch of stuff, and it'll take us hours to go through here, so you guys can check it out and you'll understand how good it is. So the cost of it is we're at $19,243 and some change up front. That is twice the price as our current website. But like I said, you're getting so much more with this website that the cost I can see. Actually, since they have been having people move away from core, they're doing a promotion also. So people that's moving away from core, they're helping drop the price down drastically. When we started talking about this, I said, give me a rough ballpark, like what are we gonna look at? Cause he asked, how far do you wanna do this, or how fast? And I said, I needed kind of a figure. And he goes, probably 40. I was like, 4,000? No, he goes 40,000 to 50. And immediately I was kind of just like, there's, never mind. And he said, let me see what I can come up with. And they started doing a promotion for that price.
So is this a one-time fee?
There is, the 20,000 is upfront, one-time fee. There is a yearly though of, and I didn't print out the second page apparently. It was $5,200 and some change, which is a big increase also monthly from core. I think we're paying right now $1,800 yearly. It is a big jump, but also ARPA wise, I'm going to be asking for that difference for the next 3 years. And after that, I'm gonna have to make it work.
I think, you'd ask for 2024, 2025, and 2026?
Yep. If that money could be allocated just in my maintenance contract line or something.
So, and I'm just throwing this out there, but, so if we upgrade, so we've got folks now who doesn't really use the old, our current system because they don't really understand it, but.
Yeah.
I guess my question is, how many folks will take advantage of a new upgraded site?
Here's the thing too, if I'm going to be the one taking care of it and doing all the content update and doing all this stuff, I can do that with this. No, I will take the reins. I'll do that. Right now, to do anything on this website is horrible. It's awful. I can't stand it. And not that it just sucks. It loads up half the time slow as can be. Sometimes you can't access it. You get 404 errors all the time.
Yes.
It's good.
Last night I was sitting here listening to sirens, trying to get an agenda uploaded, and it just didn't get done because I kept getting the 404 error, so.
Yeah, I'm over it.
I try not to.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people that Andrew was talking about. I just sent him an email. Can I do this?
And we also left, what was it, eGov's payment system, Missy?
What?
We also left the eGov's payment system too, which was okay.
Just not very
Yeah.
user friendly and
Yeah.
kind of a pain. But, yeah.
I know I hate like saying, hey, give me money for this shiny new toy, but I think it's a really good investment too, for the county to have
So how many,
information and everything too.
how many people look at our website?
I don't know, but I can give you get those analytics and email them to you or let you know. I'm telling you, it's probably going to be way, way less than what your YouTube videos generate. Way less.
Or Facebook.
or Facebook. Yeah,
It may go up in the next month or so with people going online to pay their taxes. I think it will go up,
Yeah,
yeah.
Well, I think the more, I mean, we're going to the tech world, I mean, everything is going that way, and, I know us old folks, we don't, tend to go that way too much, but I know the kids all, they don't wanna talk to it anymore, so they just go Googling it and, or searching for it, or whatever, but.
Ross Wells is the salesperson that I've been talking to throughout this whole project, and he said he would be more than excited to come down here and demo it for you guys also. Anytime during a meeting or just getting together and demoing it, so. Cause I mean, there is a lot to go through. We would sit here for a couple hours and burn through some stuff, so.
We're not that big of geeks.
You don't have to be a geek to appreciate a good website. I mean, you just, it's very nice, so. I know it's pricey and but.
But what, so you're saying that we paid X amount, what'd you say, 8,000 or something for what we got now?
It was 10 up front.
How many years ago?
I'm gonna just ballpark and say 5. I'm not sure right off the top of my head.
But it's not user friendly.
It's horrible. It's awful. I mean,
Just speak how you really feel.
okay,
You
so Nick's website, he's got, Scott County EMS, a very nice page. He does all that, and it looks awesome. You can get onto the platform, you can grab little boxes, grab little pictures, you can just literally create a whole new website, and it looks awesome, okay? Right now, so Civic's the same. You got that back end to literally be creative as much as you want to and build it from something that just looks very generic to something that pops with videos since you scroll down and starts playing, or pictures that you can hover over and it gives you information, all sorts of stuff. What we got now is a
Turd.
you literally click on a tab, like say structure of the website, and it's just a bunch of text fields that you have no clue really where it's going to on the website until you start typing everything in and you think you got it and you click save and there's an error and you have to go back and fix that error, and you can only do this on pages that are created.
It's like an expandable Excel file.
Yeah, you can't create a new page on our current website without me contacting Core and saying, hey, I'd like this new look or this new layout or something. It is just it. Once you get on our website, what it looks like, that's all you can just change the text. Maybe add a couple of pictures here and there. That's it.
Okay, and you're asking for ARPA money out of this?
Correct.
And these are ballpark figures, but you're talking, you're probably talking 35,000.
20.
I thought you,
20 up front.
4,052
you
years,
said
5,200 a year.
5,200 a year. For 3 years.
So the 20 is the initial payment and for the first year.
So 2 years.
After that.
So it's $10,400 on top of that.
Yes. And there is a 5% increase yearly, which is kind of the standard. So that will be yearly. I mean, it will keep going year after year after year after year. So I'm just requesting 3 years to be paid from ARPA. Then after that, I will take it.
And the initial is already built in, so technically.
Correct. Yeah, so for the
So
first,
technically, you said 5 years ago that it was about $10,000, so technically it's $14,000 for the system plus 52 for a year.
Correct.
A year
for
subscription.
the first year.
So technically it went up $4,000 in 5 years plus the subscription.
So you're only wanting 15.6. You got the money for the 19.2.
No, I don't have the money for the 19.2.
What are we talking about here?
No, yeah, I'm kind of confused here too. All right, so
All right,
so the upfront,
ARPA money for 20,000.
yeah, for 20,000 ARPA money, and $33,000, the difference.
You're wanting $35,600.
Yes, but, yeah, okay, yep. Yeah, that makes sense now. I'm thinking of yearly though, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad. No,
So,
I hate numbers, so. Yeah, just to be able to have those yearlies.
How'd you get to 36,000?
that's not,
Do what?
Okay.
that was Randy making
You want,
that.
No,
you
it
want
would be-
20,000, right?
It's
Yes.
Plus the difference
Correct.
in 2025.
5, 6, and 7.
between what is allocated now in your budget line item for the
Yes.
same thing,
Yeah.
So
plus
that's 10.
3
the
years.
diff to just one, just 2025 and 2026,
Mhm.
just two. Because
And,
the other one's already built in.
That's
correct, yes.
Oh, okay.
I've got $29,643.88.
Because the one was built in.
Yeah.
Okay. I was adding the 5
So,
to 3.
so you're saying 30,000 technically, and it's gonna go up a little bit,
Yes, yes.
so
So we're back at 35,000.
30.
No,
I would just do an additional, if
Yes.
you wanna do it, I would do an additional appropriation for an amount not to exceed $30,000.
Okay.
Whatever it is,
gotcha,
come in lower than that.
okay.
In no way, shape or form, I'm assuming, if I remember the rules right, that, are unrestricted.
The
Of the
opioid,
He's not
opioid
talking
funds,
about
we
the
have to take
opioid.
care of this.
unrestricted opioid could probably be used for this.
That's your guys' call.
That's a,
We got a lot of people wanting ARPA money.
That'd be a stretch.
well, it's unrestricted.
Oh, it's on, okay.
So it's not the same set of ground rules, I think there's a whole, essentially a lot of discretion in the restricted line item, though I think that MDL agreements require that 85% of the funds in total be expended for opioid-related recovery, treatment, services, training, yada, 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 so I wonder,
Go turn the video voice.
Do what?
you talking about the Attorney General's over there?
No, I said you can put a training video.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the website is there for information and.
You're welcome.
I think it's probably, I would look at it.
Let's just do that then. I'll entertain a motion to have him enter in an agreement with Civic Plus for a new website for 3 years for not to exceed $30,000 and to have the money come out of unrestricted opioid funds.
Could
I'll make
I,
that motion.
can I,
This is way too fast for me. Hold on now.
could I just ask to table it till the next meeting
Okay.
so that I.
Make sure,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Assuming that we do this though, once they would approve that resolution, you would still need to, go to council to appropriate that.
Gotcha.
What else you got?
That's it. Okay.
Thank,
Yep, thank you all. Yeah, so, I'll come back next week. Would you guys like to see a demo of this if he comes down?
I wouldn't know what I was looking at.
I mean, you'll just see how it functions, all the stuff it offers.
I mean, the biggest thing and I'm taking your word for this, but the biggest thing I'm wanting out of this would be that the most illiterate, computer savvy person can get on there and function around in it, right?
They wanna operate on a 3-click system too, so they want you to be able to get on there and do 3 clicks and get to what you're going to. And the search is a global search for that website, so you can go up to the search and just type in tax, and it's going to give you the options that's in that website, like pay your taxes here, look up your taxes. It's that search functions.
And it will tell the breakdown of all where your money and your taxes are going.
That's already kind of set up with Lao. So Lao would be linked into the new website also.
So together though, you can get into this website and you can find out all the information you need from everything.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be the hub of everything. Then anything third party like Lao will just be linked into it.
What do you think, Missy?
Yeah, just like what we have now, it's linked into it and you can check all that stuff out. It shows the assessment, like what exemptions you have and everything like that, so the Lao website is fantastic, it's great.
Alright. So, yeah, so that's our current course. And if you go to, let's see, treasure. No, so that's not it. Nick, I hear that back here.
Yeah, I'm just trying to help your point.
Yeah, it's, okay, payment options, okay. Yeah, so this is what we have currently with Lao. So that's for Suffolk County, you can do parcel number, address, everything, search, and there you go. But this will just be incorporated into the new website if we go with it.
But for county employees, department heads that need to be able to get on there and add something to their.
If they want to, go for it. That is absolutely workload that I don't have to do.
Okay.
So-
But it'd be simple enough that they'd be able to
It would be,
navigate.
once they get the website built, it's so much easier to go in there and update content. That's one of the key things. That's so much faster. When it comes to meeting minutes and agendas, you can just go right to the commissioners page and you have this whole list of all the meetings right to the right of it. Say it says commissioner meeting and the date. To the right of it is a little link for minutes. To the right of that, the agenda. To the right of that, a YouTube link. Click it. Everything's right there. So once you want to add an agenda, employee can logs in there, click it, upload PDF, name it, click OK, that's it.
Okay.
And if they want to add, I could do the YouTube links and all that other good fancy stuff, so.
Okay. All right,
So we're about 29.5, right? Doing that.
29.6. Yeah.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
29.
Not to exceed 30.
Yeah. Oh, that's not to exceed 30, how about that?
All right, sounds good.
And I'll let you connect back,
Nick,
it's all yours.
Thank you.
You connect back.
hey, I can skip right over.
Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you guys.
You might want to put this in.
What you got?
A lot.
Law.
A lot.
First things first is financials as always. Finished March with 187,409. Trainings at 11,2. Paramedics at 33,6. Year-to-date totals 594. Current cash ledger sitting at 808. Projection on the financial sheets showing us at a 7% increase projection over last year. I'm not gonna hold to that until probably about May or June, until I get a better snapshot and see how we're trending, but right now we're projected to hit about 2.25. So that'd be pretty cool.
Yep.
308 transfers so far and a total of 1,320 runs already, so we're up 8% on runs for the year. Any questions on any of that?
You're doing good.
Thank you. You guys wanted me to come back with, the cement building quotes with the metal angle iron on the brim there. Most of them are saying it's gonna be about $15 a linear foot. A lot of them did requote it.
It's not
We're talking about $1,000 at most. Some of them did requote it, just adding $1,000. I've got emails from some of them just saying it's $15 a square foot, or a linear foot. But other than that, nothing really changed. So that's where we're at on that.
So who we at with what?
So Johnson's Landscaping and Excavating is at 15,000 for the concrete. Gossman's is at 25,750 for the building. I'll just give you that one. You can have these. Gossman's is at 25,750 for the building. The Amish gentleman did not rebid with the angle iron, but again, I assume it would just be the same thing. He's at 39 for a combination, which is what, if you do those two add together, this is his old one before. Again, Vance and Baker was at 14.5 for the concrete without the angle iron.
It's 1,000 more.
Yeah. Jordan Lentz, yeah, we'll go with that, is at 31.9 for the building and 18.4 for the concrete.
What was the building?
31.9. I don't know why I have so many of the same thing. And then we had the original Byers Construction, which was at 14.8, I believe. I'd have to check my email, with the, the angle iron.
So is he just concrete?
Yes, sir. His was, hold on, stand by. Maybe I misspoke. What is this?
We playing Jeopardy?
Yes.
Did we reach out to Lucky Rose?
Austin reached out to a bunch of people. I kind of made this his project because they were asking questions that, I mean, again, I work on people, not this, so when they were asking questions, Austin kind of fronted this and just compiled all this stuff for me. But I believe he contacted everybody in the county. Actually, it's 25,000 through Byers for concrete.
25 just for concrete?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I
And
see.
then he's got another quote
What
in
about
here
the
for
electric?
he's got another quote in here for 14.8 for the concrete, so I'd have to get some clarification on what the difference is.
So what's,
Concrete or electrical, we only got one bid, it's in there, I believe it was 99 from Arbuckle. I think it's in that pile you've got, Greg.
so we're
And
talking,
here's another one, but you can get a look at it. All in all, you're looking about 50. I mean, give or take 1,000 or two.
so was the Johnson bid, the 1,500 or 15,000, was that with,
That was with the,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, he was at 14,000 prior, which I believe is in there, and then his 15,000 was redone with just that line added of,
Or $50,600 with, if we go with the lowest concrete, with the lowest building and with the only electrical, we're at $50,600. That's with Gossman, Johnson,
in Arbuckle, I believe.
Okay.
Which after yesterday, I appreciate if we can, they took a beating with some hail, there's no damage, but, they got hit pretty
More
good.
today than it was yesterday.
Yeah, they got hit this morning as well. So, I mean, like I said, we've been lucky, but I think it'd be cool. I believe that was the right, let me make sure that was the right dimension one.
There's an electrical bit in there.
Let's see.
I'm 96% sure it's
I
over
saw
there.
it before, but.
Just kidding, it's right here. There you go.
Actually,
90,
977.
alright, see? So it'd be $130.
So it's,
50,470.
yep. 50,000. 470. Alright, what's everybody's pleasure? I know we talked about it last time.
Well, I mean, I want concrete in it. I
I
don't
do
think
too.
concrete's gonna get cheaper as we go by, and I've never seen a building yet built by the government that doesn't get turned into something more later.
That's my only thing is, we ever need to add on more storage or more building or admin off, whatever, 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, you're not having to redo the whole and dig it out. And
I have a question
So
about
you might as well have concrete now and be done with it.
on the structure itself, cause I was always in my mind thinking it was a drive-through. Is the backside gonna be skinned or is it not gonna be skinned?
it'll have like I think it's a 4-foot like drop down, but the whole backside will not be. It's not, that was not quoted.
I know. Okay.
No. Reached out to 2 others and this is the only one that I got back from Austin. But I'd love for them to be drive-through, but
We
then
talked about
we were adding gravel and then we'd have to shift the building and then I'd definitely have to have that knoll of a mound that ended up getting dumped there from when they extended. Like, there'd be a lot more work that went into it. I think in the future, that's something that, I can budget $10,000 a year to get some gravel and I think we could get there. As much as I'd love to say, yeah, let's do it now,
I get that.
as much,
Well, you're gonna put.
we're not going in and out every day. So,
Is this metal frame or is this wood frame?
Hold on,
Okay. I forgot, I can't remember.
yeah. I'm,
pole size 6x6, set 42 inches deep. All kinds of, here you go. You'll probably understand that more than I will. Reached out to him.
I'm ready to pull the trigger, but I'd like to.
It's wood.
And I'm not saying people weren't contacted, but I find that you wouldn't think that electrical, contractors would not get it. So,
I mean, I can reach back out, if we wanna, I think at this point, if you guys do make a decision either way, you'd probably go with the lowest one anyway. So if it's over that, it's out, and if they're under, we're gonna be under what the appropriated amount is. Like, that's just kinda how I was looking at it, but at the same time, I don't know. I know he did the initial stuff.
Oh, good, okay.
But the only concern would be, cause I'd like to sell the Connex boxes when we're done, or, if another department needs them or whatever. So, I mean, there might be some reimbursed money. I don't know how much you get for Connex boxes. I don't know if people buy them. I don't know. Well, we bought them at one point, but, I don't know. how in demand they are. But, you know, one thing that we'd also have to consider, which I'm sure the highway department, if they're willing, can probably move those, we'd have to disconnect the electric and then move the Connex boxes while they're doing all of this stuff. And then we'd have to obviously transfer the contents of the Connex boxes into that garage side when it's complete. So there'd be some logistical things for us for a minute, because we'd have to find an alternate place to park our ambulances a little bit, or strategically place those Connex boxes that are currently there back out of the way where I can still get electric to plug my vehicles in, and then still let people move said Connex boxes. But again, I don't know how any of that works. That's just my only concern, because where the Connex boxes are now is where I'd like to put said building, so that's the only thing.
Well, I think we're all in agreement that we're gonna take the lowest bids, so.
And I'll be more than glad to make sure Austin reached out to them. It was my understanding that he did. But
It's fine, I mean,
Yeah.
we're good. If
We're
they
taking-
do,
We're gonna take this from the restricted, I believe. That's what he said we could do because of the EMS, so I'm gonna entertain a motion to accept the lowest bids, not to exceed $51,000, and have that money, taken from the opioid, drug settlements, restricted funds, so.
I'll make that motion.
Randy makes a motion to accept the lowest bids, not to exceed $51,000 to build a pole barn structure to get our ambulances out of the weather. And also get them plugged in correctly, so Greg, Greg seconds that, and I'll make that unanimous, so. And I will say this, Zach's gonna come with a resolution, as we always do with giving out that type of money, so.
And I'll still go to the council, I believe.
At our next meeting, we'll make sure that you have a resolution to go with that.
Do I go to the council on the 16th, or do I have to wait till after that?
I would actually, Zach can get you a resolution prior to that, so.
Okay.
What else you got?
I was gonna say, if he could send the resolution tomorrow,
Yeah.
you guys can sign it then.
Okay. Next thing is, a vehicle purchase, and before we freak out, we're running the community paramedicine program that we're funded through a grant, ends this year. It's not slated to renew. Through the grant process, we are under an MOU, so we are not technically receiving the grant money. Another entity is receiving the grant money, and we're just reimbursed cost plus, you know, whatever. At the end of the MOU, they would like to sell us the vehicle. It's a 2019 Durango. It's fully equipped with all the emergency stuff that all of our other ones are, and we would use the money that are in the grant lines to pay for that vehicle. So it's not gonna come out of 1151, it's not gonna come out of 1170, it's not gonna come out of anything. That's the benefit of the grant, is it's funded, and then we have to purchase the vehicle at the end. So it's pretty much just we buy it through the grant, essentially. So,
So it's paid,
obviously,
it's paid for.
it will be at the end of the year, yes. It won't come out of 1151, it won't come out of 1170, it's out of 9185 or whatever, I don't know what the line is,
It's
but
not
it's, but I just need your permission to purchase vehicle, because we would bring it on. Benefit is, I bought the one replacement for the 2014 or 15, I looked at buying another one, but I went against buying another one to replace the one the 14, I think, because it had lower mileage. This would kind of set me up at the end of the year to not have to purchase a vehicle next year either, to replace that 14. In theory, that could replace my 14, and then I'd be good for a year or two. And if we can do that, to purchase it out of, to acquire it through us, we should be okay for a little bit, and we can kind of calm down on replacing 10, 12-year-old vehicles at that point for a couple of years.
I'm sold.
Greg? Yeah. I'll entertain a motion to allow him to, purchase the 2019 Dodge Durango with the grant funds from the paramedic medicine or paramedicine.
We won't take ownership until 12/31/24. And then like I'll do a claim at the beginning of the month so we can pay them on 12/31, or I'll do it November.
Yeah.
So we can pay them. But this is the thing that Health Plus typed up, that they're the ones that own the vehicle right now, Health Plus. That just says they won't look for any other buyer. We will buy it at the end of the year. It'll come as is with the equipment, all of that stuff in it, so. And there's a radio in it, there's lights in it, there's all of that stuff, so.
I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Randy makes a motion to purchase, or not purchase, I'm gonna say absorb the 2019 Dodge Durango from the grant funds. Craig, I'll say, Craig seconds that, I'll make that unanimous, so. Alright, what else you got?
Next is your favorite conversation that we all have as a collective, is the conversation about acquiring an ambulance at some point. Obviously, last year it took a hot minute. I'd like to start this conversation on what your ideas are. I don't have any quotes, I don't have any bids, I have rough ballpark figures, and they're gonna continue to go up as everything else is. You know, I just need to know, you know, are we looking at a loan, or again, are we looking, you know, do I need to pursue other avenues? I'm not asking for ARPA, I'm not asking for opioid, I'm just asking what would you like me to do, what can I do? We're not buying a vehicle this year, we bought a vehicle last year that we won't take acquisition until this year. Right now, I've talked to 3 different vendors. If we build spec an ambulance, we're 24 to 30 months out from delivery. If we remount, we are 120 to 180 days out from start of remount. However, the soonest that I can get in for a remount is August 1st of 2025. So that's the soonest they could start.
So what's the price of the remount these days?
220, give or take.
Still half, right?
No, a brand new ambulance, again, I don't have hard figures. The one that I've bought the last few trucks to said add 6%, is what it's about went up. Because the benefit now is we've been getting the power loads and everything for these new trucks because I didn't have anything to swap. At this point, we would be retiring one of the trucks that we would take the power load out of, so I wouldn't have to purchase a power load, wouldn't have to purchase a stretcher, wouldn't have to do all these things. We're looking at strictly the price of the truck and then the graphics on the side. The price of the truck for a brand new one that's sisters to the one that we have and the one that we're getting, it's about $276,000.
Well, that's a no-brainer.
Ballpark.
Yeah.
The also benefit is we can either trade in and or privately sell the one we're gonna get rid of. The problem is at that point, the reason I'm talking about this is because now
This isn't the Chevrolet, is it?
the old one, Old Faithful, I was gonna talk to you about that too, that we're gonna get a handshake and a bag of churros for that thing.
No, I'm talking about the one that we just
Oh, no,
had the fuel pump.
no,
Which one would we sell or get rid of if?
one of the E-Series, our patch truck, which has got the 3 patches on the side, or our vet truck, depending on mileage. They're the same year, they were acquired all at the same time. Right now, I've got, the Chevrolet has 84,000 miles on it. The F-550 has 76,000 miles on it, it's a year old. The other F-550, which is less than a year old, has 45,000 miles on it. Patch truck is 118,000, vet truck has 116,000, and then Old Faithful has 136,000. So, you know, if we're looking at a delivery that's a year from now, we're gonna add another 50,000 miles to all of those totals. I will say, you know, the mileage on 2 of those is gonna be adjusted because they got new power plants in them. We went through that. So I will say that, again, if we do remount, there is an option to go back to an E-Series. That would be about 170,000 for a remount, but that's putting it back in an E-Series and putting it back with that 7.3 motor. And I would like to have diesels, and the only way that I can get diesels is to go to a F-Series chassis. So that's why going on the remount at the 220, 230 price range is because they're having to convert the box from a Type 3 to a Type 1. So they have to paint the box, they have to do a lot more to that, but, you know, if we're not gonna have the troubles out of those motors, or, and they're gonna be under different
But I mean, if
warranty.
you're talking.
It's a 560 versus a 5100,
If you're talking about 220 for a remount,
or 270 for brand new,
270 for a brand new vehicle, that's not a remount, then
that's got a full
Kinda-
paint warranty, product
kind of a
warranty.
no-brainer.
You're gonna get gremlins anytime you do a remount anyway.
Plus you sell something that we have,
Mhm.
that can
And,
pay
you
the
know,
difference.
We could sell, you know, I would estimate, again, this is estimating from what I've looked at online, I've seen them listed probably 25 to 35,000 out of something with projected the miles that it's gonna have. You know, we're not gonna get $100,000 out of an ambulance with 200,000 miles on it, it's not gonna happen. So,
Okay.
but, I would like to go, I'd like to know, you know, obviously no decisions need to be made, but are we going to think that we're just gonna do another loan like we are with the one truck? And then also, just to kind of give you guys food for thought, Penn Care has 3 demos. They have 10 demos, but only 3 of them are diesel that would be delivered in Q2 of 25 that are not spoken for. So, they've sold, I think they said 7 this month, and they have 3 diesels left. And then EV Plus has 1 slated for Q1 delivery of next year. The EV Plus is right at 300,000, and the Penn Care ones are the 277.
So how many miles are on these when they get them?
When we get them, 12 to 1,500.
Okay.
So what would be wrong with going ahead and starting to put money back down?
I put mine back every day, but I won't have, I mean, I will, but it'll deplete my
Well, I think we need.
budget base to, if I just take $300,000 out of my cash ledger, that brings my cash ledger down to $500,000, and that's what I
I
run with.
mean, payments, you just start a payment program for it. You said, how long does it take to get, if you get a new ambulance, how long does it take to get the ambulance? Takes.
If, like, let's say we decided on a
almost 2 years.
demo, we would have it Q2, April or May of 2025, so we'll call it a year from now.
Right, and that's when you're gonna need one.
Because we're slated to get the one in September of this year that we ordered in, what, April of last year? Took a year and a half to get. The only reason that these are right at the 12 to 14 month time frame is because these were ordered in 23 as well.
So if you start putting money back for a year from now,
There's nothing to do
have
with,
cash for the ambulance instead of getting one.
where would I put the money?
I-
Like, all my money's in my bank account, it's gonna sit there. I mean, that's what I'm saying, I don't have the ability to put it in a different,
Savings.
yeah, I only have the one account.
So if we go back to,
If we do a loan, then I would just have to say, hey, I need another $60,000 next year in my budget to pay my loan payment. Or I need
so the other loan payment, what was that on, 3 years?
3.5, because we extended out for the
So
one, so
we're,
we made one payment,
so we have 2 more payments,
where it's biannual, so
so
we have 6 more, or 5 more payments, really. 6 more payments of that. But 3.5 years left, because that was just due, what, March 17th was the first payment that we made. So,
I think, I mean, and this is big ticketed items anymore, I mean, being on the fire department, I mean, we end up paying, getting a loan for our fire truck of $550,000, because that same fire truck now is $700,000.
and that's, you know,
We would never thought, I mean, we paid cash forever, now you can't pay that anymore, so.
my only concern, yes, technically, in theory, I've got $800 something thousand in my bank account, so I can write a $278,000 check. My only hesitation with doing that is when I go to budget time, when they do budget, they base my budget off how much money's in my bank account. So if I'm $300,000 down from where I would be, that's gonna kill my ability to have budget the following year. That's the only downfall to it.
Well, but if you can make the payment, or, you know, be in that payment cycle, then you can have new equipment and.
We're gonna have payments on stuff, or we're
Yeah.
gonna have to get
And
funded.
that's where it's going,
mean,
that's where I was getting at.
And I can go back to certain boards and stuff, but I hate to keep hitting them for the same thing. I mean, it's not fair to them. As much as, you know, we service areas like TIF, for instance. I mean, we service that area a lot, but I don't feel like they should be the general funding of my ambulances either.
Yeah. All right, well.
So, but I'm gonna go to FDIC
let's
and see what they've
sort
got,
that.
but I figure we can think about it and.
Yeah, let's think about it,
Yep.
because there are some other things that I wanna consider going into that.
Hmm?
There's some other things I wanna consider, how that's paid for.
What else you got?
Contract for Lisa Rooney, she's the one, we've done this both years I've been here. She's the one that does our Medicare and Medicaid reassessment, that we do. They file it with the state and they do all that stuff. It's budgeted in my budget, it's just a contract renewal. You've got a copy over there. It's the same as the last 2 years. I've got it right here if you guys agree to it. But what it does is they file for the differences between what Medicare and Medicaid paid and what we were reimbursed, and we get a percentage back.
Okay.
This year, we're getting $35,000 or $36,000 back.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to renew the contract with Lisa Rooney.
I'll make that motion.
Randy makes that motion, Greg,
I'll say,
Greg seconds that, I'll make that unanimous.
We're getting that money from last year, though, right?
We're actually, the money we're about to get from 2021. Yep, so, and then this one will be for 2022, yeah. So, they're a little delayed.
Alright.
You,
What else you got?
two more things. I would like to ask if you guys would be willing to let me update some of my vendors to, urgent. Urgent pay, just because I'm getting a lot of issues with only, like, if we turn them in on the 7th, they might not be paid until April, and then we're 30 days in to a net 30, and then it goes out, but then it's a week and a half before they get it. I'm having a lot of accounts that are having issues. And, we get phone calls of, where's this check? Yes. So I have a list here of ones that have called that we have issues with, if you'd be willing. If not,
Early pay,
I don't know that it would be so much, I don't
think
know,
it'd be a difference for us.
because I think
I
urgents
think
are,
we need to understand what's exactly going on before we start changing things to urgents. And since I just got the list and started doing some investigating, I think we just need to understand a little bit more about when we're receiving versus when they're getting through and all of that. So, give me an opportunity now that I've got the list.
okay,
I can get back with you tomorrow.
Okay.
I got kicked out of the financial system they had to update, so.
okay. We can put that on hold, but I mean, like I said, they're not one-off issues, a lot of these, they're consecutive issues, so,
We should probably discuss that.
so
Alright.
we'll hold that until next meeting. Last thing is that we're having some soliciting EMS services coming to the county. And,
what?
yeah, yesterday we had a service come into the county and hand out informational pamphlets to the hospital, nursing homes, saying, hey, call us for your transfers. And they took it upon themselves, which as much as I appreciate, that they were ready to help, but they took it upon themselves to stage at the hospital yesterday in case runs came out
So is it a local place?
within 15 minutes of here, yeah.
Does it start with an
No, starts with a L. Links. They're out of Cincinnati, they
And
moved to
They're
Sellersburg,
doing Seymour too, or
Yeah.
Salem.
which I know they have contracts with certain certain nursing homes, but none of those nursing homes are within our community. And there was a bunch of pamphlets passed out at the hospital yesterday, which I've talked to the hospital staff and reminded them and gave them copies of the ordinance in place, as do the nursing homes. But I just wanted to let you know that that is being,
Can we send them a friendly?
oh, they got a friendly phone call from me this morning, and I talked to their vice president and sent him a copy of the ordinance as well.
What he said.
They had no idea, and I said, that's why you have a professional courtesy to come to the department in which you're trying to take runs from, and I could have informed you of that before you made a bad decision, so.
Well, I think, I had a conversation with, commissioner from Washington County today, and he was saying that's who does their transfers at St. Vincent's over at Salem, because the other service left.
So I just wanted to make you aware of that, there have been some
So
conversations.
what was the end of the conversation?
Sorry,
Okay,
I guess this conversation, after talking to some other people in my position at other services, this conversation has happened with them as well. And the sorry was kind of a smoke and mirrors because they've had repetitive issues. So I just wanted to make you aware that if you get a phone call from somebody from the service that I was less than present, it's probably true.
well, it's better you than me.
Okay, thanks.
All right, thank you. Missy.
Real quick, sorry, I'm just gonna ask to put,
Does that need to be signed when,
the county website thing back on the, agenda for today. I did get a chance to review outside counsel's, description of the permissive uses for unrestricted. It's fine, it is a permissible use.
That's the whole, everything, which of course you don't
I
have to
would
sign or
just-
don't nothing, so.
This is the resolution, and the amounts are specifically described for each fiscal year, in the resolution. And,
What would be the resolution number?
Or do you care? Because, no, I did not prepare for that.
So anyway, we're back to saying that it is something that we can do under.
Yep.
And we talked about.
So I did include page 2 in there, and it does have the breakdown of the monthly cost, which I'm only asking for the difference. So 25 and 26 would be $3,400 each year.
Okay,
So it'd be a little bit less than what we thought last time, actually.
4?
4.
Okay, I'll read this real quick. And this is backing up to, what Andrew was talking about earlier with the new website for the county. Resolution number 2024-R-4, approving certain funds from the unrestricted share of opioid settlement funds, whereas pursuant to IC Code 5-22-2-13, the Scott County is a governmental body, and under IC Code 36-2-2-2, the Board of Commissioners is the county executive for the Scott County, and pursuant to IC Code 36-3-2, the Scott County Council is the county fiscal body for the Scott County. Whereas Scott County, the government has received certain distributions pursuant to the distribution and settlement agreement of Indiana Code 4-6-15. Whereas as part of the distribution settlement agreement, the Indiana Code 4-6-15, Scott County has received a portion of the funds with the unrestricted category, and portions of the funds is a restricted category that must be used for purposes outlined in the Indiana Office of Attorney General approved opioid remediations uses outside with priority to be given to those listed in Schedule A core strategies. Whereas Scott County Commissioners have determined to approve the use of certain unrestricted funds for the purchase services, develop and to maintain a new county website in order to provide greater accessibility to the citizens, elected officials, and employees of Scott County to county information, alerts, news, events, and other items. Whereas therefore be resolved, Scott County Commissioner of Indiana The IT department director is hereby authorized to enter into and to execute agreements with Civic Plus presented to the Board of Commissioners at its regular scheduled meeting on April 3rd, 2024. Scheduled services for the agreement is hereby attached hereby and incorporated as reference as Exhibit A. The Board of Commissioners resolves to approve the use of $19,243.08 for upfront cost of development, hosting, training, implementation of a new service county website for 2024 fiscal year. In addition, the Board of Commissioners resolved to approve the use of $3,400 for fiscal year of 2025 and use of $3,400 for the fiscal year of 2026. These additional payments are for the maintenance and support of new county website. This resolution is effective upon passage, signing, recording of the presiding officer as executive and contingent upon significant appropriations by the Scott County Council. So I'll entertain a motion to pass resolution 2024-R-4.
But now we found out how much the stationary,
So the whole total cost of the project with 25 and 26 with the maintenance and support would be $27,643.08.
that's the stationary.
No,
This is for the website.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, I'll make that motion.
Randy makes a motion to accept the resolution 2024-R-4. Craig?
I'll say.
Craig seconds that, and I'll make that unanimous, so, third day, April. 3-0. Let us go first, come back. Well, you're stuck around long enough.
It's happening fast. I appreciate it though. Greatly
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Take it to the county side.
Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andy.
Sorry, Misty.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am, what do you
So
got?
I am before you, last month, Zach talked to you guys about an ordinance I'm trying to get passed. I know Jennifer has got it advertised now, right? For-
Yes, we
Okay.
did, yes.
So this ordinance that I want to pass, it is to charge title companies or mortgage companies that call or email me all the time and ask me to send tax files or tax data to them. I know it takes, I've never run it yet, but I know they told me it takes like 15 to 25 minutes in Lao to run that to them. I know other counties have this and they charge $200. I'm just asking for $50, and that money will get deposited if the council goes through with it, and it will get deposited into the Treasure Technology Fund, and then I can use that money for whatever the council allows me to.
So, do we have the ordinance?
I haven't.
She's got it.
So has it been properly, advertised?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So what would be this ordinance number?
I think it was 2. It was 2 because we had it on there and we had to take it off for, yep. I think it's 2,
You guys have any questions?
Nope.
Greg?
No, that's a great idea.
Yeah, I think so, just to help a little bit. I didn't wanna charge a bunch, but just enough.
So
I
you're
did-
charging $50?
Yeah, there was I think Loretta had contacted me the other day and they sent me like 64 pages, and it usually has 2 properties on each. They're like, hey, can you look this up and tell me what's delinquent? And I was like, oh, you can get on Lao and look that up. So they didn't call back.
Okay.
So I think with that website, that will help us maybe deter some of that too.
Okay. So I'll just, I don't really wanna read this whole thing again, but, what this actually says is that the county is acting an ordinance to prohibit the information, and that we're charging $50 for them to receive the information,
Mhm.
so.
Yes.
nobody's got any questions, I mean, I'll entertain a motion to pass the ordinance 2024-OR-2.
I'll make a motion.
Randy makes a motion, Greg.
I'll second.
Greg seconds that, I'll make that unanimous, so on the third day of April. This way this time, what else you got?
That's it. Thanks so much.
Sorry I said her. Anything else we did?
Oh, no. All right, thanks.
We're going to, actually, we're gonna change the amendment around, because, Mr. Buchanan's very fall asleep back there, so we're gonna move him up, it's past his bedtime. So come on up, Jackie. Back there, huh? How you doing, young man?
I'm doing just fine. I just wanna ask you a couple questions. First of all, just an update on, have you decided on funding, because as we know, it's construction season. Getting small jobs done, as you just saw with small job with electrical, is tough getting anybody to commit. So we were kind of wondering, and I'm sure, well, I'm positive that everybody else is too that ask. Now, some of those are large jobs compared to what ours is, but I'm sure everybody just, an update, are we looking at next week? Are we looking at the end of the year? Should we go to the 5-year plan, the 10-year plan, or where we're at?
I'm gonna ask you what what was the one? Was it 50? What?
It was 84 and change.
84 and change.
Might as well say 85.
Let's say that. Well, I think we've asked some questions of our attorney, and I think we've got some answers from our attorney that I know we have separate funds with ARPA, we have separate funds with some opioid settlements. He's not in here right now, but I think he kind of gave the green light that if we wanted to use opioid unrestricted money that we could. I think that would be an avenue that we'd be able to do, and without maybe I'm gonna say other people not proving what we were saying, so. What's your comments?
Yeah.
What's your comments?
Yeah, this is, it's needed. I've been out there, I've looked, at the site over there where you guys are wanting to build, and I think it's a good project, and, I think it falls, in my opinion, falls in line with what we're using money for.
Well, I think kids need to be outdoors, and I think you guys do a very good job of keeping your parks, pretty up to date, I think. I go up there a lot for the baseball games and stuff, and
Oh, you found the park.
I've known where that park's at.
I did notice you.
I used to get beat down up there at that park.
I did notice that you found the street corners though, because I noticed your sign on every street corner.
No, you don't. You haven't been down there, because I don't have too many signs up there right now, but I'm going to. But anyway, I think we can do the unrestricted, funding through that, and I think it'd be a good project. So, I would entertain a motion to, and again, we would have to come with and he's not in here right now, but we'd have to come with what we do with anytime we give money out from opioid, or anytime we give money out from ARPA, we come with a resolution, with a resolution number that, so we protect ourselves at the end, that money's gonna be spent where it says it's gonna be spent, and I know there's people out there that's you know, all worried about where money's going and making sure we're maintaining, you know, optics that it's spent where it's supposed to be, that, you know, we can ask for accounting of, you know, the funds and stuff, and I know your board's fine with all that, so we will have a resolution number that we would come back later and I'm gonna ask a question, is your board a 501c3 or is it just a city board?
City board.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that makes,
Yeah.
that, we'll have to make sure.
And once again, we're probably the only one that's considered a town, well, a city anyway, that we don't have a tax rate.
Yeah.
So everything is always dependent on outside financing or sources to basically do any of it, yeah.
Okay.
How many kids live there in Spicertown?
If you hadn't asked me, Randy, I could've told you. There.
There's quite a few, right? I mean,
Yeah,
Oh,
got
there's-
2 trailer parks back there too.
Yeah, there is
We're talking
300 and some odd housing,
talking
houses.
about a resolution for the opioid.
300 some odd houses.
Yeah.
So we're probably looking at 200 kids or 4.
85,000,
I would need,
and they are not a 501c3, it's actually part of the city of Austin.
And what all, refresh my memory, what all you guys gonna have there at this park?
There will be a shelter house with a bathroom. There'll be a walking path. There's 1.6 or 1.7 acres, I'm not 100% sure. Playground equipment that was donated by the school. There's a dog run, partially built. Also a half-court basketball, because if you drive through out there, you'll notice that, you know, the hoops are on the road. That's a real bad place. You know, the walking path's not gonna be blacktop, it's just gonna be crushed stone. And, you know, picnic area underneath the shelter house. And that still leaves us another, technically it's a city lot, but it's one of those small city lots. I'm not so sure you could even build on it these days with your setbacks and everything, but that still leaves us a lot, technically the lot to the east, that is not being used with this, because to tell you the truth, we couldn't come up with anything to put there that we really needed. What we're doing there is what the survey that we distributed at school, and we had a public meeting out there, and what people told us that they thought they wanted and needed, that's basically what's in there.
Here that is, Randy.
I remember what I was talking about, I just couldn't remember. Exactly what it was.
Back to what I was telling you, their park board is an unfunded board from the city. It's not, it might as well be a 501c3 because they don't receive any tax money whatsoever.
well,
It's strictly funded by donation.
Well, there's, I don't know how to explain where our budget comes from. The fund is a PILO fund, payment in lieu of annexation. It's not tax roll money, it's basically an agreement between the city that they wouldn't annex, and that individual is giving X amount of dollars, so they don't get annexed. That's where our budget comes from. Which after everything's all paid and everything that has to be paid, utilities and everything, we get there's roughly about $6,000 a year for all the maintenance, upkeep, and anything new that's torn up that we have to buy. And so I don't know if that's really I don't know if that would be considered tax money. I don't know what that definition is.
so who controls, like, who appoints the members for the board?
City.
City. Who funds, who decides like how much?
City.
City council.
Yeah, they give
Approval
us,
from the mayor.
yeah, they give us a budget.
Okay.
We don't have much input with that.
I'm just trying to think on whether it's more like a resolution to approve with,
The city of Austin.
I think the city has to, we might have to do it in a local separate front, like, we could say, we want to give X amount of dollars to the city of Austin by a resolution, county council weighs in. But I think the city has to agree to accept it, you know what I mean? Like for this specific purpose.
I can find that out tomorrow. Do
Okay,
you want me to have,
You need to get a hold of him.
yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay.
Tomorrow will be very difficult for me.
I'll just talk to them tomorrow and tell them that they need to contact
That'd be fine. They can reach
contact
me.
you, and then they can,
Yeah,
is that, the mayor be fine with that?
oh yeah, I mean, if the, work, his
Or does it
attorney,
have to go through,
Josh is their attorney.
yeah, Josh is their attorney? Would it have to go through him, or through the mayor, or through a council meeting?
probably if Josh is the attorney, I'd probably prefer that it be Josh,
Okay. All right, I'll tell him.
just cause I don't wanna,
Okay.
So I guess my question here is, can we, since the council's meeting next week, can we go ahead and pass something here if it doesn't, I mean, or would you say we don't?
what was your time frame again for the,
Our time frame is, really, we don't have a time frame. I was just here to ask about an update on whether you have decided if you could do anything. Because
well, we kinda switched gears from
Yeah,
ARPA to opioid, I
and
think opioids.
construction season's
perfectly fine.
here,
I just,
and it's very difficult, as you saw with the electrical bid. You know, small jobs, yeah, I mean, it's a crapshoot whether you can get anybody to even look at them or less do them.
Yeah.
And with that, that's a lot of money to us, but the contractors, that's a very small job.
I guess my
And it's
only-
just hard to get those people committed and, you know,
sure. My only.
where they don't put you off for 2 years.
My only holdup would be like, yeah, I think we could do the resolution, you could ask the county council to approve it, but it would all have to be contingent on probably the city and us, you know, coming to terms on the uses for the money by an interlocal agreement that would have to be separately adopted.
Can we say that we're?
I guess and I apologize, I never understood that you were a city board, so I apologize for that. If I would've known that, I probably would've thought about this.
Yeah, I guess technically we are. Well, we are.
But you're not a 501c3,
No.
so you're not,
No,
you're associated.
yeah,
Could we go ahead and pass ours, go to the council, have them pass a contingent on,
Yeah.
agreement with the city of Austin?
Yes.
And if they don't agree to that, then,
I will have
and I don't know
to,
why they wouldn't, but.
it will take me a second to
oh, he will.
draft it. So could you table it for a little bit while I try and figure out?
And another thing with the makeup of the board, and I don't know if this makes any difference, there's one member that is not appointed by the city.
That's okay, as long as it's a city governed board, you said, you know, the fiscal body appropriates money and,
Right.
you know, you have a city budget.
That person is appointed by the trustee with the understanding that the reason why he's on there is the trustee helps fund, but he's also the liaison between us and the trustee. So there is one that technically the city government doesn't have anything to do with.
That's okay.
That plays into it, so. So,
That's gonna take me a second though.
well, we're gonna table this while he's
Okay.
typing something.
So then I need to have the mayor tomorrow contact Josh and have Josh contact
Yes.
you.
That would be great.
That's the first step, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Have the attorney for
So why don't we just do this, we're not gonna do this tonight then, so why don't we just hold off until,
That's kinda what I was saying, is
17th.
we might as well.
let's just
push to
table it till the 17th, you just wanna know if we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
We're gonna do
We can
it.
do
We're gonna do it.
resolution, interlocal, send it to council for their first meeting next month.
Yeah.
You will have a understanding of whether you think it might be yes or no from the city, and then we're all kind of going the same direction in the same time frame, but we,
Okay,
You go to that?
you don't have to.
so we're looking at your next meeting or next
17th.
month?
No,
17th?
17th.
You come to our meeting on the 17th, county council will meet to
Okay.
appropriate,
That'll be in May.
May
Okay.
something.
All right. You
At
good with
least you
that?
got your answer.
I'm glad that you found a street corner to stand on.
Hey, I've been ran out of Boston many a time.
We won't go there, will we?
No.
Thank you,
All right,
guys.
thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, JD.
Are you on the agenda or?
He is, yes,
He
he's
is,
with
yeah.
Southern Indiana Transit.
My, sorry, I skipped over you. I didn't know who you were with.
Sorry. I got in kinda late, so.
Apologize for skipping past you. I didn't know who you were with. I was just tired of seeing JD sit there.
Okay, well, it's been a long time since I've been in front of the commissioners of Scott County, so, that was basically due to your predecessors saying, go to the mayor and do things to get, the monetary funding. So the monetary funding has been going through that portion, and it's been working very well. That's been 15 years of that. So what I have is, you know, do they have this?
It was emailed to them. They do not have a
Okay.
paper copy, but I can make it if you need it.
No, I got it right here, so I can show them, we can speak to it. So first of
Oh,
all,
I do have that.
yeah, I did a presentation.
Oh, Val, I'm sorry, yes.
So you can get caught up, and I can go through this if you like. This is just showing what we do. I'm doing a stare and compare from 2022 to 2023. Granted, that's pandemic timeframe, which causes a lot of crazy variations on ridership. But this kind of explains who we are. You know, Blue River Services, we have the Southern Indiana Transit Public Transportation FTA NDOT grant. So we do public transportation for rural transportation for Scott County, Washington, Crawford, Harrison, and Floyd County. So we've been doing that for quite a while. And the reason why I'm in front of you tonight is because they threw a loop at us. And normally Harrison County handles the grant, the operating grant for 5311. They put numbers in front of all these grants, as you know. So 5311 is just a rural public transportation name for the grant. So normally Harrison County, since they're the first county in the system, everything goes through those commissioners, and all the other counties just benefit from not having to do what we're about to talk about. But unfortunately, NDOT and the FTA decided, well, if you're a multi-county system, we want all the counties to sign paperwork. So I have to present to you basically what Harrison County gets. But Harrison County also has to sign the same piece of paper that you're gonna sign, or hopefully you sign. I'm gonna present it. And all this basically is part of the 5311 operating grant. And it states, basically NDOT language that states that we provide a service. And what it is, it goes through, it's part of a resolution that goes into the whole grant. And I have to go to Washington County Commissioners, Floyd County, Harrison, and Crawford County Commissioners. I'm gonna do the exact same process here. They have the same tier 2 resolutions where your signatures are supposed to go. Harrison County also will sign the same resolution stating that they are the main provider for the main county home grant for the recipient of the FTA.
So technically, Harrison County's applied for the grant, but now the federal, or the DOT's telling you that, the grant's out there, the grant's probably good, but all the counties that are involved have to sign.
Correct.
Correct. So there's no money that is any different as.
There's no, but this is not a money endeavor, although,
Oh, you are.
so basically, the money that is involved is the local match, and that's what Mayor, Amick is, doing. And, I go to him on a different meeting and show him the exact same data, but he likes to see it, and of course, you know, go through that whole process. The local match, basically how that works is you put in a certain amount and you get 2.5 from a subsidy from the FTA level that comes down, and that provides a benefit. That's the subsidy that you get for the grant. So if you're putting in 15K, then you're gonna get 35, 36K of operating services for that. And that's what we do for Scott County, and we, if you look at the numbers, if you do it.
Are you the van that shows up out at the strip mall at 7 o'clock in the morning?
Yes, that's us. So
I've never noticed it, but, the last month or so, I've seen the van sit there, and I guess they just wait for whoever, if somebody's coming or if nobody's coming, or.
So here's how this works. We're a demand response system, not to be confused with Uber or Lyft or a taxi system. What we do is they could call us, and they call a dispatcher and say, can you help me between Monday through Friday? Can you get me from 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock? And I'm going to this location. Can you do that? And if we have availability, we'll do that. We're not taking any standing orders because we're maxed out on standing orders, which is, I want Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We can't do that anymore because we have committed everything we can do, and we still have to provide what they call demand response. So that means if you call, let's say your car's in the garage and you want to go to work or to a doctor's appointment, we can do that. But we're not going to sit and commit to a whole bunch of people, because otherwise nobody would get a ride. You would monopolize all the time frames, and you only, like 5 people would get serviced, and nobody else.
Sell my car and jump on that deal.
So, we take a lot of folks now to Floyd County with the fare structure that it is, which is like, $8 round trip, which you can't even touch with an Uber or a Lyft or a taxi for that matter. And a lot of folks are starting to take advantage of that, which is what we wanted. We want to take as many folks from every county that we serve and get as much ridership with what we can do. And so what we'll do, which is different from a taxi, is we'll go from Main Street, and then we'll go to another house, and then we'll go down the way. We're going to group them together, as many that could fit safely in the vehicle. And all our vehicles are ADA compliant. All of them have wheelchairs, lifts, all of them have ramps, and our drivers are trained through NDOT to do all those things, and they have to meet special requirements. So demand response is the main thing of what we do. And now the difference, if you're wondering, like, what's TARC do compared to rural, what's the difference? So they have a fixed route, which is a bus route going from 9 o'clock this location, they go all the way through town, and they come all the way back and reverse it. That's called a fixed route. What we do is demand response, and we'll go to your actual house. And if you're disabled, provide an arm and try to get you in the vehicle and get you going. So that works really well with veterans. As a veteran, I try to do Tuesdays and Wednesdays free of charge for all veterans to go. The only thing we can't do is go to Zorn Avenue, because NDOT doesn't let us go across the bridge. I know you're about to say, yeah. We really wanted to do that, but NDOT came to our door and said, stop going across the bridge. Because the reason being is for insurance. Insurance goes up by millions of dollars. And they basically said stop doing it. So we tried to go to Zorn Avenue, we tried to make it all work, but there's a lot of stuff in State Street and Floyd County area, that all the doctors areas, a lot of veterans still use that, and we're trying to promote that and do a little better job of promoting and doing a little bit more PR in Scott County to get the veterans to ride our system, because we do appreciate, all of our guys.
I didn't know NDOT did this. I know, I've seen your vans, that's why I said, but I didn't know this was a grant through NDOT, so that's.
Tuesday and Wednesdays?
Tuesdays and Wednesdays. We're open from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. And
we need to let Denise know that.
That's what I'm saying.
in attendance, anyone who's helping the other person come on board, they ride free too. And that's for anybody. So if you don't have to be a veteran, if you're riding the system and your aunt needs the uncle or the husband to go with them to do whatever, they ride free. And that's a given, that's all the time. So anyway, that's the system. We're trying to do as much as we can, and I just wanted to show you numbers. There's some regulars that you have in Scott County, and we also employ people from Scott County in our system. And we also had just a lady came today from one of the Health One or something, one of the insurance health companies, that she got $3,200 worth of tickets for Scott County and Austin people, for residents. So they hand out, yeah. Wow. So
We've done quite a bit. Just a quick history. One time, the sheriff of Scott County and all this, the hospital, everybody got together and said, we want you to do a route for, you're mentioning the money for the assistance for those who are in need to have some substance abuse. And we created a route and everything. And we drove it for 6 months. And we did it on the weekend and even after hours. And no one took advantage of that.
Really?
So
Wow.
the sheriff came back and a few others and said, well, let's not, because it's money, it's operating dollars. So we said, well, why don't we just go back to demand response? Because I don't want to, we're going to blow out our year.
Yeah.
And so that's what we've been doing for Scott County. It's just demand response. So that means we pick up the phone and just call the dispatcher and say, hey, I need a ride. And that's been working well. We do take folks from the hospital. I heard a lot tonight. So from that hospital, we do take people home sometimes if they need it. They call us. If we have a cancellation, we'll try to fit it in. But I would say that the meat and potatoes of what we do in Scott County is doctor's appointments, going down to Floyd County, doing all kinds of different things with your folks, our folks. I mean, it's just basically what it is for public transportation. So it's a regular thing that we've been doing for quite a while. We would like to do more, but it's all about how much they give us and how much we plan for. And right now, there's 43 systems, rural public transportation systems in the state of Indiana. And those systems, we get an allotment of money from the FTA, and then they divvy it down to each system. And then we also, depending on what each county gives us for local match, depends on the operating dollars too. And I will say, Scott County, I say this to Mayor Amicat all the time, very, very generous, and we're very grateful and appreciate Blue River appreciates the relationship with Scott County and with the mayor and everybody. So I'm probably a little late to part of coming to see you guys, which I apologize, but this has kind of made a difference, and I need to give you a report card anyway. So every other quarter, maybe I can come by and just tell you how we're doing, if that's okay with you all. But I don't really come to ask for anything. I go to Harrison County every quarter and ask for the claim, and we got to get all the money paid just like everyone else in here today. I mean, you've got the bills to pay and stuff, but we usually go to Harrison County for that, and they need to sign the claim.
So it looks like here in 22, you did 1,842 transports.
And then we went down a little bit in 23. And it ebbs and flows all the time. It just depends.
1368. Well, actually, yeah. Well, I'm gonna be honest, I've seen your vans, and I've seen, like I said, in the mornings, I see your van sitting there. I didn't realize what you were doing, or how you were doing it, or how you're funded, but, I think it's a benefit to a lot of people, what you do and how you're doing it, so. I'd venture to say if we could assist or help in the future,
Oh, sure. It helps a lot, and it really is dependent on the communication between you and the mayor's office and how you guys want to do it. And if you want to add more,
if he's paying for it, I want him to pay for it.
I figured as much, but I'm just stating what has the context of what the relationship has been to now. But now we're just the FTA has created, well, this is just the tip of the iceberg of all the extra things we're doing for this grant. So we're just trying to we want to get the operating grant for 2025. We're just trying to get it in front of you so you can see and digest it.
You said earlier that someone paid $3,200 for tickets. How far would that $3,200 go?
Well, it just depends on, she bought $2 tickets, $3 tickets, and $4 tickets, so she hands them out to her clients, who then gives it to our drivers. And then the driver, that's already, she paid for it, she paid for them to go ride our system.
Okay, so she paid, and you gave her tickets, and she hands those tickets to whoever she wants to.
Right. And we don't ask questions. Being that it's public transportation, we don't screen people, we don't say, why are you going to this doctor's office, or who are you? We can't do that, it's illegal, so.
So what is I know you can't cross the river, so I'm gonna ask, if you're from Scottsburg to Jeff, New Albany, Floyd, what would that, is that an $8 charge round
It
trip?
goes by mileage, so anything from $0 to $10 is $2 each way. 11 to 19 is $3 each way, and then 20 and above is $4 each way.
Okay.
So we don't go to Jeff yet. I say yet because we're working with the board of trustees and the commissioners and the council there. They have, not made decisions yet, but we're also struggling with staff trying to find drivers because, you know, I don't know if you know about how hard it is for bus drivers in school systems, and we're suffering along right with them. We're trying to find folks, and we're working on that. And we worked with TARC, and then when they saw what we were doing for this demand response, they went the other way. They don't want, we've been on Zoom meetings and trying to get to, them to understand what rural public transportation is, because they're so used to the urban side, and the urban side is just a bus to them. They don't think anything of it. They don't go to people's homes. I go to people's homes, and if they have a driveway that's difficult, I will tell them, hey, here's how we can do it, get the right vehicle in there, and we'll make it work, because that's what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
But they don't have any, and you go anywhere in the country, BART, San Francisco, Boston area, DC, Atlanta, they're all gonna have just a bus that just goes around for a couple hours and then does this again, and then they're done. So with rural public transportation, we can't afford to do that. I mean, we could do something rural, and we do a little bit of a route when people come in, but that's not the meat and potatoes of what we do. That's just a little thing that we can do to help with ridership. And so the mayor of Salem likes to have their senior assisted living places helped out. So we had created a route for them. So certain parts of the day, we'll go and get them to go to JC and get them to go to some other places. And it's an ongoing relationship. So if you get some calls from your constituents and say, hey, you know, I got a demand that this needs, can you check this out? And the hospital of Scottsburg actually asked us to do that before. And if we can do it, we'll do it. But if we can't, we can't. But at least we can talk about it. So if you got anything going on from that standpoint.
So you have a contact information, because there's no phone number or anything in here?
I have his email stuff.
Well, his email's on there, I think that there isn't.
Yeah, okay, yeah, the website's on there, and the website has all the information on there.
Alright.
But I can give you my phone number, my work phone cell is 812-972-5581. 972-5581, and that's Roland, Roland, space Lemus, Lemus. And our dispatch number, let me give you that real quick if I could.
Yeah.
It's 812-738-1681.
That's dispatch?
Mm-hmm. And the 800 number is, take out the 812 and just put 866-738-1681. So, in case somebody doesn't want to spend the money.
So you just need us to,
Everywhere it says tier 2, so I think one's for the auditor on the very bottom, and the top one is the president of the commissioners, where it says tier 2. On the resolution, there's 2 actual pages to sign. The first one is, yeah, that's the first one, and that's the second one.
alright. Got any questions? Nope. Greg? I'll entertain a motion to, sign authorization for, is it Southern Indiana Transport System?
Transit, yes, please.
Transit System, in partnerships with, Harrison County and, Crawford County, Floyd County, and Washington County,
I'll
so.
make that motion.
Any makes that motion, Greg?
I'll second.
I'll make that unanimous, so.
Thank you.
Sorry you had to wait so long.
That's all right. I just got a call got a frantic call from the grant writer saying, you don't realize what they just did. They just sent us this whole grant with all the counties. I was like, what? So I read it and I realized, oh my goodness. So it's just not the norm, but when the FTA says to do stuff, if you want your money, you gotta jump through the hoops. It's crazy.
Alright, you need a copy of this?
Yes, please. Do you care if I keep a copy of this, or
No.
do you need the original?
I need the original, you can have a
Well, I
copy,
tell you
same
what,
copies you want.
Let me sign, do I need to sign this?
You need
Would
to
that be
sign the
easier?
one where it shows, says tier 2, he signed the top part, and then you need to print your name and
The
write
back
on it.
part
This-
of the
this
other
Okay,
one.
the back one. I'll do this, but do you guys wanna sign this one too then, and I'll
Yeah,
have a
the
copy as
blue one needs to
well?
be signed, yeah.
If you'll sign that one, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then,
I appreciate your understanding and,
Well,
and,
actually, you
short
brought
news.
knowledge to us that we didn't know probably, so.
Yeah, thanks for coming up.
no, no problem.
And
And,
again, sorry if I went around you, cause I didn't know what you were on the agenda here, so.
So yeah, we have low floor minivans, we have 8 and 12 passenger vehicles, and, we used to do, like you used to have festivals and stuff, or, events, and if it was put in the paper, we can do it, a show event. But if it's not put in the paper, then it's charter, we can't do it. So if it's advertised a certain way, NDOT's real funny about certain things. I just had to tell Harrison County no for a charter. They want to do something with the water soil event. They have to Saturday, and it's next Saturday, and it's truly a charter. It's not open to the
make
public.
sure he,
And we can't, NDOT says we're not allowed to do that.
and please
We're
look,
in competition with other charter companies. It's crazy, but if it's in the paper and it's advertised, the whole public can go, even though you know the public's not gonna go, it's okay. It's crazy.
Yeah, there's a rule. I work there, so I get it.
Yeah.
Alright,
I was gonna say, would you double check to make sure we've signed everything we
I
need to?
will, title recording officer, what's the title, is that's the auditor, or this is,
I could do that, I would
this
probably be
is,
the recording officer, yes.
this is you, this can you just, write commissioner, please?
I'll let Mike.
I think we're good. Oh, awesome. Okay, yeah, we're good. Do you want a copy of this too?
This is for Jennifer.
Okay, well, she can sign that too.
That's the resolution. That's a test language. That's what I don't understand. This resolution doesn't have a signature line for the commissioners.
Yeah, well, okay, I apologize, then it's
So
probably
should
the
I
auditor.
print that off again?
I would go ahead and leave Mike's signature on there, cause
Okay.
I don't think there is one. And then if you would go ahead and just attest, put
Okay.
a test line on the bottom and sign that.
Alright.
You don't think I need to sign where it says title recording officer, just put another line and make a test, or, I'm sorry. You babysit us.
Normally, I think that would just be like, you put like you would assign there, right? But,
Thank you very much.
no problem.
Right.
Good seeing you. Thank you, appreciate what you did.
Thanks, Roddy. Thank you.
yeah, I would just go ahead and put a test and then put Jennifer.
I've got that, I've got that, but you know what, your packet, if you've got that, I would like to.
I'll leave this with you, 'cause
Okay. Give me one
Jeff.
second
Hey,
here.
how you doing?
Yeah. Alright, how you doing?
I'm good. I just came to speak to you again about the roofing project we got going on at the station, or we're trying to get going on at the station.
What was that cost?
It was, well, I've got two options, 38,786. And that's if we pay 60% down when they deliver the materials, and then 40% when the job's done. Or, there's a 30-day payment term of $39,950. So we save like 1186 or something if we do it the first way.
Is it different than this one?
Yeah, this is it.
So actually, the price goes up if you don't pay it within 30 days.
Correct.
You said two options, I mean, the options were just the payment plan?
Yeah, just payment back. Now, you know, there's other things we can do at the roof. We can get heavier materials.
anything that
you know,
we.
the additional cost.
Yeah. So how many years is the roof guaranteed for, or they say it's gonna last?
This one,
Or just give me
I think you said before that they're going to resheet it or something to make sure it's all,
yeah, they're gonna put OSB and stuff over top of the old metal in certain sections.
just
To
bring it up.
bring, yeah, and just shrink that, you know.
You know anything about that type of, I guess,
Looks like
material?
What was the material?
It's a wrap type.
Yeah, it's a wrap type membrane is what it is.
Do you have it written on something?
Is that like they put on a flat roof?
That, I'm not sure. I don't think it's that rubber membrane,
Oh, they don't give a description of it.
Must be. Might be.
Duralast?
yeah.
What kind of warranty do they give you with it?
That last page, I think it says 15 plus 5.
Yeah, it's a 15-year material and labor warranty.
Yeah.
And I guess the reasoning you're going with the membrane is because there's different,
Yeah, we got like 4 different roof lines there where things have been added, subtracted, and.
so it'd be two
So with all the
valleys.
valleys and everything, you're getting.
Yeah, this just wraps the whole thing, we got a good roof. Well, Wayne and I'll never do it again, you know what I mean? It'll outlast us, so.
15-year warranty, you won't have to work on it.
That's just what he said, I won't have to do that.
What, you guys got any comments or concerns?
So what's our bottom line?
38,786.
I say, I'm for helping them out. And, however we can.
Well, I think we still do it with the unrestricted, can't we? So,
We need to make sure that we would have sufficient funds to cover, I guess, all 3 requests tonight. I think there
I think there's
more than
200
enough,
something.
but I just, yeah, there's,
I think we're.
I mean, it was, what was it, Andrews was 20,
30, that's what
He's
it was 30.
27.
Yeah, 27.
27.
So we've about 80,000 tonight.
Let me ask a question. Could this, being the fire department, fall under some restriction?
No, I don't think
Because
so.
when they reckon meth and they burn their house down, who shows up?
Yeah, I don't think that
That's
they
what the
meet the
total-
qualifications.
Okay.
3 to 9.
I just wanted to
I
ask.
think it's
That's what I
2.
I'm not saying that
That's
the
what I
fire
was wondering.
department itself wouldn't be able to
Well, it's
offer
85,
services that
38,
would qualify,
so that's
but merely, I think,
Minus the.
rebuilding a roof for a fire protection service that does all types of things, not
What I
just
figured was
I
the
get you.
85 for
what is
all
listed in the.
So it's not necessarily because of the fire department that couldn't get it, it's because of the,
I think it's more than
it fall,
nature.
where it falls under what they're doing with it.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
I did that for
Okay.
Andrew. That's 86 for Diana and or JD.
Okay, yeah.
I think we have enough.
It's all 3 tonight.
Huh?
It's all 3 tonight. It's the Austin.
And how much did we
Farms.
start with?
Just cause I don't know,
I know last time she said it was 200 something. In the unrestricted.
Yo!
I think that
the software
Two
now.
She's got.
she emailed me, it's 203.
Okay.
Cool. Vienna Fire Department,
56.
is that what kind of entity is that? Is
It's a
it
501c3.
okay,
Oh,
and
203,
is there
356.
like a fire
And that's
protection
on-
district, or is it just a volunteer firefighter service that
What'd you
operates?
say it was?
Is there a number, how much we got?
Trustee.
No, draw from the unrestricted.
It's not a
How
fire
much
protection
money did we
district, it's
receive
run
for
by
unrestricted?
No.
trustees' office. Gotcha.
Was it 300 some thousand?
So we would be giving the department, which is a 501c3, right?
Are you looking to see how much you want to get it, or?
I don't think
No, I wanna know how much we got, because 150.
I don't think so, because you just
Well, I
contract
think,
with.
I think
the
given
state.
203
to
was the
provide those
number that's left in
services.
there.
Yes.
And then you just give away
Who's
the
billing?
150, so you're looking at 40 some, yeah, not a lot.
That's where, I would say that's a county building.
The
No, it will,
town,
should be owned by the LLC.
So that's what you think we got left?
That's what we got left.
I knew
Unrestricted.
the equipment I knew was, you know, so yeah, I guess the building would be too.
is the building owned by who owns it?
LLC.
It's not listed as a county property, because we just had Joseph Wells in here looking through what belongs to commissioners, and that's not one of the properties that was.
It would,
listed.
So the 501c3 has to own.
So we must
assume
own the
that's
building,
owner.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So,
Okay, how much can I,
38,786.
what if you all went through the claims, try and draft this?
Okay.
Oh,
Excuse me, you still have,
Well, that was good for 7 days, I can't think it's gonna change, you know, that much.
You would still need to get the county council to approve that, but I
Yeah.
guess that they meet.
next week.
not next week, the following week. We moved them back because of advertising purposes. They will meet the Tuesday night before your next meeting, so they'll be on April the 16th.
Okay.
Yeah.
While he's typing that up, if you'll just sit still for a second. There's a community corrections letter of support, what's that?
It's for a grant, you've already approved the grant, but she just needed the letter signed.
Okay, so,
That's
Randy,
the 38,786.
so. And we'll move on to,
You'll need a motion to sign that,
all right,
won't you?
I'll entertain a motion to sign this, I guess, a letter of, for an IDOC grant.
I'll make that motion.
Randy makes a motion to be able to sign for the grant, which she's already asked for the grant, Greg?
I'll second.
Greg seconds that, and I'll make it unanimous, so. The Finley Firehouse trash collection site, what's that on there?
That was on there, we had received quotes, or Greg, did you have those? I forwarded them to you, I did not print them out.
Quotes
Or
for,
we've got quotes in there for the, to put the lights up and those things, I didn't know if you wanted to.
no, we
revisit
already approved that, cause there's only one person gonna put them on,
Yeah,
so.
RMC's doing that work.
So
Okay.
we're good there.
Well, that's all that was about then, is the,
Consideration of regular special invoices,
we've got them right here,
regular claims.
here you go.
Is there anything special, or is it just regular?
No,
claims?
just those are the regular ones.
Everybody's already seen those, cause Mandy sends them to you, so, I'll entertain a motion to accept the claims.
I'll make that motion.
Randy makes the motion to accept the claims, Greg.
I'll second.
I'll make that unanimous, so, consideration of the payroll for March 22nd, 2022, or 24,
That's right
sorry.
here, I'm sorry.
I'll make a motion to
I'll entertain a
accept the
motion to
payroll.
pay the payroll for March 22 of 2024. That's confusing. Randy makes a motion, Greg.
Second.
Greg seconds that, and I'll make that unanimous. Consideration of the
I
minutes.
don't have them.
Okay, we'll table the minutes. So. That's taken care of, that's taken care of. That goes back to her, that goes back to her. Alright, anybody else got anything while we're sitting here? Randy?
No, on this, I'm all for helping the fire department out. Matter of fact, I would like to help all the fire departments out, but, I think after tonight, we need to put a hold on until we've had a meeting, until we can figure out how we wanna break it up, because for me, I wanna help all the fire departments, but I wanna be fair to all fire departments that we help. Does that make sense, what I'm trying to get at? I don't wanna give one fire department $200,000, I wanna give another fire department, $38,000, you know,
Yeah, I agree.
and we don't have that much money left to be doing that. But I think if we're fair and help everybody with the same amount, that's all we can do.
I agree with that. And I'm kind of prejudiced to the fire department, so.
But I mean, I'm all for moving on with this one. I don't think that's an unfair ask.
Well, it's a foundation of the department, they gotta have some place to
Right,
house their equipment.
right.
And that's
The
not.
building's cheaper than the equipment they're housing.
That's not a big ask. No. Greg, you got anything?
Just, you know, it's been a big last couple of weeks, you know, we lost, one of the greatest men in Scottsburg history, in my opinion, and Maryville Graham. And, you know, that's, he's just one of those that's irreplaceable kind of, you know, people. I mean, he's just special to everybody, and so much that he's done for the city, and, I mean, he's gonna be missed like no other. And, we love him, and we continue to wish, you know, his family, you know, prayers, and, that's a heck of a loss, for everyone, and, certainly miss him. And then obviously, congratulations to our boys for winning the state, that's huge. And, you know, to see all those Scottsburg people there, you know, I mean,
It's been a good time.
times I've been in Indianapolis, I never see anybody, and walking the streets, and I mean, we had thousands of people up there, and that was just awesome. And I tell you, I listened to some of these podcasts, and the guys that cover basketball and a whole lot of levels that were at that game, talking about, you know, all the folks from Scottsburg that was there, and they were just carrying on about, you know, there couldn't have been nobody in Scottsburg left, and they were right, because we had a heck of a crowd. And it was a long time coming. I know, you know, we've seen the program in highs and lows over the years, and this was certainly a heck of an accomplishment, and the boys just, you know, they had a heck of a career, and they topped it off the right way, so recognize.
Good kids, too.
Great kids, and recognize the Scottsburg Warriors and their accomplishments, and I was glad to see Kevin's son win as well, and Brownstown, and having two teams that win the state in the same conference. Man,
That's
yeah, that's unbelievable, really. So, what a year for all the programs, and but that's it, that's all I got.
Well, I'll piggyback off that. Mayor Graham actually, lived across the street, his parents lived across the street from me when I was growing up, and so I've known him, you know, all my life, and, I've been a lot of places with him, and he's introduced me to a lot of people, and actually, I even posted a picture of me and him in Washington DC, at the Eisenhower building, and, so it was, you know, when I decided I was going to run for political office, he was probably the first person I sat down with and talked to about it, so,
Which only speaks to his greatness, because he didn't care to have a picture taken with you.
yeah, well, yeah, there you go. But he's actually taught me a lot, and, taught me some things that probably I shouldn't have learned, but, his favorite quote was, go ahead and do it and ask for forgiveness later, you know, and, that was his famous line that, you know, he's done a lot for people that I guarantee if he ever wrote it all down, that there's no way people could repay him. I mean,
Special.
he was a special person, and quite honestly, I know he was the mayor of Scottsburg, but I guarantee he helped everybody everywhere. It didn't matter if it was Austin or Scott County or whatever, and, he's just gonna be missed, cause they don't make those people every day, so.
Well, to his stature, talking with the governor, run into him Saturday, and, you know, his first things were, you know, hey, I really, you know, hate to hear about Bill, and, but Bill was just, you know, so highly known.
Oh, yeah.
That the governor, of course, you know, the governor's staff reached out right away and said, you know, they wanted the flags and ordered them to have staff, so.
Yeah.
Bill carried a lot of weight over the years, and Scottsburg was very blessed for that, so.
Well, when you go to, if you went to this visitation or something, 30 some years being the mayor, he had pictures with a lot of people. I mean, he had pictures with Bill Clinton, he had pictures with, Senator Lugar, he had pictures with Vance Harkey, he had pictures with Birch Bayh. I mean, he, you know, knew a lot of people. I mean, Bob Orr, Otis Bone. I mean, those were governors, lieutenant governors that back in the day, they used to travel the state and not just sit in Indianapolis all day. But the other thing about the Scottsburg boys, I was standing on the corner in Indianapolis, and some guy walks up and goes, "Where are you from?" And I told him Scottsburg, and he goes, "I come to every state final." He goes, "I've never seen so many people on purple or gold." He goes, "They're nice people." He goes, "Usually they're bunches, you know, you get it, people that want to be snobbish or whatever." He goes, "I've never met a person yet, I mean, that hadn't, you know, been open, welcoming and everything else." Also got a message from, the governor's liaison saying that, hey, because I had actually sent him a message and said, "Hey, tell the governor," you know, I kept seeing him turn around and look at the Scottsburg crowd like, what the hell is going on? Because, I mean, they were so loud, and so many of them, and he was sitting in mid-court, and I was there for the Brownstown game too, and it wasn't anything like it was at the Scottsburg game, but he just kept turning around like, what is going on? Because people that sat on the other side said it was so loud you couldn't hear anything. And even the players, I think afterwards, said, I thought my ears busted, you know, a few times. So, but anyway, and I will say one last thing. I know I mentioned it at our last meeting about the 54-55 team. One of those guys was at the game, Hub Hoagland, standing there talking to Steve Myers, and Hub Hoagland walked up and he played on that team that played against Oscar Robinson, so that was kind of neat too, so. But anyway, I think, I know those, kids were kind of starved, I think, coming home, because they stopped on the way home and got something to eat, so.
They deserved it.
And also, I will say one last thing, talking about Indianapolis, and I'm sure you heard it on the news, I went back to the hotel because we didn't come home that night, and the shooting that happened up there happened after we passed that Sweet Tooth restaurant there, and I heard all the sirens and stuff, and I'm like, what the crap? And when my daughter looked out the window and she could see all the police cars and stuff, but those kids were up there the night before, because we were up there Friday night. We were walking in that group, but from Indianapolis State, or the Indianapolis police said that shooting was a planned event. So they knew, I mean, they didn't know, but the kids that got shot said they knew that something was gonna happen, so.
So I've just included it all as a packet, basically, with the agreement that they will eventually, I guess, or I guess it's the scope of services. It's not really an agreement, but, and we're doing the 38,786.
Yep.
And there you go. That would just need to be
Is that resolution number 3?
appropriated by
I
the
think
county
it's-
council and then
I think that's just, I think we just had 4, I think that's 5. Hold on,
I think you're right.
I think it's 5. Yeah, it's 5.
We're gonna go with 5.
I believe it's 5.
I think it is, yeah.
All right, we do this every time for, money that we give to organizations and stuff, and it's just a way for us to maintain and understand where the money went, and that the 501Cs and the people that we give money to understand that they have to abide by, and spend the money in the areas that they say they're gonna spend it. So I'm not gonna read the whole thing, and I'm just gonna say that we have a resolution 2024 R5 approving certain funds for unrestricted share of the opioid settlement funds to be given to the Vienna Fire Department in the amount of $38,786. So I'll entertain a motion to, and again, I'll say, this funding is for a new roof for their fire station, so.
I'll make that.
Randy makes the motion, Greg?
I'll say.
Greg seconds that, and I'll make that unanimous, so,
You're down to about 9 minutes.
we're gonna be done. Again, anybody got anything that's?
Yeah, we need to, we can schedule a meeting, to talk about our funds that we have left, how we're gonna distribute them.
Yep.
Thank you all.
Thank you. We have a meeting Thursday night, tomorrow night, at, what time is that, 5:30?
I think made it 5:30.
You wanna meet at 5 early tomorrow?
Yeah.
So
I
come
mean, do
in,
we
come in,
have to
we'll-
advertise them?
There's already a meeting advertised, and it's about some of the same things, so it's just discussing the budget, how you're gonna do the budget for next year.
Check with Zach, make sure we can do it, and if this, so, yes. Zach, we have a meeting tomorrow at 5:30. Can we meet at 5 and discuss, we need to advertise
It's
first,
kind of a
discuss.
workshop meeting that we've advertised it, but, and I will not be here, but Deandra's gonna work with him about budget, how the budget process for next year.
And wait, what do you want?
So we're wanting to know if we can have a meeting, to discuss, how we're going to distribute the rest of the funds. That's what I thought, we had to advertise it, right?
You would need to, specifically for you guys, you gotta notice.
is that,
You gotta
we do that in
notice
a sec?
probably. Got to notice that any special meeting would need to be noticed with the specific purpose that you're calling the meeting for, which I think is probably what Deanna did when she.
It is, and it's more like budget
Yeah.
process.
Yeah.
I mean, that might fall within kind of the scope of, so you might be able to discuss it during that meeting, but
So is that meeting with just the commissioners?
Yes,
Okay,
it'll be you and Deandra, you guys and Deandra.
okay.
But I probably would suggest, obviously, I mean, I think you could probably discuss it during that meeting, you just can't take final action.
Yeah, I don't think you
Oh,
can
no,
vote on
we don't wanna
anything,
make
I think
final
you can
action, we
discuss
just
it.
wanna,
But I think you could do it in that meeting.
I think we're gonna need the information though,
Of how much money you got left, what
of
you
how
want
much
to do.
money we got left and, all the fire departments.
Council,
we
you got
have.
anything?
I have nothing.
I'll entertain the motion to close the meeting.
I'm gonna miss you guys.
Where you going?
Yeah. I'll make a motion.
Randy makes a motion to adjourn. Greg?
I'll say.
Greg seconds that, and I'll make that unanimous.